I am in such a great mood today because I got here about, 25 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And I've been bitching at everybody since. It just put me in a really good mood.
That is so wild that is how you get in a good space.
What?
You came in like a wrecking ball.
I love that because some people have a cup of coffee really gets them going. Like some people's like, I got to go for a morning jog, gets them going for the day. It's just you come in and you're like, you're doing this and we're doing this and
Shut the hell up, God damn it.
And that gets the blood pumping.
At one point, you may or may not have threatened a teenager. We're not going to go into it.
It was indirectly threatening the teenager.
Was pretty direct.
All I said was, I'd like to kill her father. That's all I said.
Sure.
It's not what?
So dramatic.
What's wrong with that argument?
I mean, I could go into detail, but I'm not manslaughter. Maybe that's
No, I didn't kick anybody in the neck with a skate. Nice sport you got there, AJ.
Yeah, AJ.
Yeah.
Let's
AJ.
pivot to you, AJ.
Yep, that's all my fault.
So you said, because they said on the news morning he had been charged, but you said he has not been charged.
To my knowledge, I know this because I follow European soccer a little bit. So believe it or not, those guys are not the most stand-up of citizens sometimes. So in the UK, in order for the police to like actually do any questioning, conduct anything like that, they have to technically arrest somebody.
Yeah.
So right now, that's more of a formality in the sense of it's not a natural cause of death. So they have to talk to really somebody, and that's like the closest thing they can, like the reasoning to arrest him. So yes, they arrested him, but I don't believe that he's actually officially been charged with anything.
You might be right about that. What is with all the violence in the level of violence in the world is increasing, whether it's in sports or it's on the streets or it's every night somebody's getting murdered in my old neighborhood. And it used to only be like 3-4 times a week.
I was just going to say,
I
do wonder. I wonder if violence has gone up or the ability to report on it has.
No, violence is way up.
You think so?
Well, you can't have the major news outlets nationally do nothing but drive hatred. And both Fox and CNN, that's all they do.
Yeah.
Is drive hatred.
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
It's obviously what gets eyeballs.
I don't know. That guy got fired last year because he sucked so badly at CNN.
I want to go on a tangent about positivity in a show that's brought me a lot of happiness, but I'm really scared you're going to make fun of me.
Positively about what?
Okay, so Golden Bachelor, Gary, he's this older man.
That came up last night when we were at dinner.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they were talking about the Golden Bachelor. Absolutely.
So all the women that were on his show got along. Like, because they were older women with perspectives. This is they've already had first husbands who have, like, they talked about and missed and loved who had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
These women were on Women Tell All last, it was supposed to be like, well, you did this, you did that. They all got along. And I loved watching it.
That's what everybody says. They loved watching that show.
It's so wild because I don't really like The Bachelor anymore. I don't really like the fake drama and like the he said, she said. But watching old people fall in love and talk about how, like,
what do you mean old people?
They're literally 70.
Right.
It's not old people.
They're called the golden when golden years
golden
of their
is
lives.
Different than olden.
The golden people, the well-aged, like fine wine people.
I don't mean it as a negative term.
Throw her out, will you?
I mean, I'm on Brittany's side. I mean, you gotta call.
How dare you?
What a shot!
You gotta call him something.
Yeah, there's an old white man in here. Let's turn on him.
The youthfully challenged people.
The youthly challenge.
Yeah, youthly challenge. How about the challenged youth?
I feel youthly challenged. I'll fall into that category. The other day I missed a step and I feel like I broke my ankle. Like
that happened.
Like I feel youthly challenged for sure.
What did you all of a sudden become Italian? I feel youthly challenged.
Hear me out, guys.
What the hell did that come from?
I heard a take on why that show's as successful because like the real normal Bachelor is like 20 something. So it's like I'm a Instagram influencer. I'm a travel vlogger and stuff like that. These people are like they're connecting on. Yeah, I held my husband's hand while he passed away in front of me, and I haven't loved anyone since. Blah blah blah. And that's why, like, when somebody gets like kicked out, it's very emotional, and because they're literally looking for like their last chance, possibly at finding that connection. And these other people, it's like, okay, they're 20.
Yeah,
Kendra's 23 and she's a rocket, so
a
she's
hot
gonna
body, and like will find somebody, fall on another D at some point. It's not a big deal.
You know, Gwyneth, she's 74.
I know
this might be it. So
even that, just like a lot of them haven't even tried for love before, and they're like, I didn't think I could feel this way. It was so much perspective, and just like AJ was saying, the depth to these people was so much more than. Yeah, I kind of joined this because, like, I'm not sure. La, la, la.
Yeah,
these women were like, yeah, the last person that I felt this way was my husband, and he died in the hot. And you're just like, I was bawling. Mm-hmm. And then they're all nice to each other because they all have perspective. And they're like, the most controversial thing said on it is one girl said, "Zip it" to another girl. That was the most controversial thing. And even then they laughed about it. Like, I shouldn't have said that. They were at the reunion. They're like, that was really appropriate for me to say "zip it." But honestly, it wasn't bad advice. Yeah,
I was just telling Brittany, we were out to dinner last night, and the Golden Bachelor came up at the dinner table. They loved that show.
I should have been there.
Yeah, great. That would have been wonderful.
Bring me to dinner with these people that like Golden Bachelor. I'm Gary, and I'm 73 years old.
Who's Gary?
That's the Golden Bachelor.
Oh, that's the Golden Bachelor. That's the blonde guy. There's a picture of a blonde guy they always put up. I don't know who that is.
He's got ear candy. He's got 2 hearing aids.
Ear candies, hearing aids.
Yeah.
The hell's he need with? How old is he?
I think he's 70. I have it written down somewhere.
I didn't know you needed hearing aids when you're in your 70s.
You don't. Some people do. Some people need them when they're younger. I suppose that's true. Yeah,
that's true. No question about it. Why don't we do this? And I think it's a good new format. Why don't we do that following the Golden Bachelor, and we'll just have people voted off the podcast island? What do you think?
I love it.
Can we do it like Survivor? Can we do a fire making challenge?
Absolutely.
Your time here is done.
Your time.
The tribe has spoken.
Done. The tribe has spoken. I'd get voted off daily. I'd come back.
I'm so excited for tonight's episode. They're bringing back the Survivor auction for the first time in like a decade.
Everything you said, I don't know.
There's an auction?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I don't know anything about that.
So they send these people out there and they give them no food. Like they used to give you a little bit of rice, but now it's like if you lose a challenge, you don't even have a flint. So you're not even making fire unless you're like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Oh, yeah.
So they're bringing it back where they give everybody like $100, let's say. But then Jeff Probst, the host, will go through and the first thing will be like a PB&J. And then it's like, how hungry are you? So they bid against each other, but then it's like he'll pull it out and it's covered up and somebody's like $30. Somebody's like 40 sold. They uncover it and it's like worms.
Oh, Jesus.
But then it got to a point where like they'll bring in like letters from loved ones in your family. So people are like tearing up and they're getting emotional, but then they also have thrown in like every once in a while, there's an advantage or like an immunity idol.
Yeah.
So people have gone, they save all this money. And then it's like, all right, I have all my $100 and boom, now I just, help myself in the game. But there's other seasons where they save all this money, they starve themselves. And then Jeff is like, all right, that's it. Go back to camp. And they're just like, oh my God, I wasted all of that opportunity to eat. So I cannot wait because people live and breathe on like ribs all of a sudden are like heavenly to these people.
Now, what show is this?
Survivor. I can't wait.
Feels very Big Brother like.
Well, but it was Survivor. Well, I don't know what was first.
Just like that auction portion of it, because that's what they would do, where they would have like, we're playing this game and you're taking away peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that are all the food out of the house.
Are you a Big Brother fan?
I was when it kind of first started, but then after a while I got over it. I was like, yeah, this is just a mess now.
Interesting.
Were you about to judge me for if I was a Big Brother fan?
I just thought it was interesting that AJ loves Survivor. You love Big Brother.
I don't watch reality television.
Tom is going to watch the Golden Bachelor finale.
Mm-hmm.
This week is Fantasy Suites. So
you get to watch some old people get it on.
What are you talking about? Get away from me, all of you.
I think isn't that what Fantasy Suite Week is, though?
Yeah. Literally, Fantasy Suites are Gary has 2 women that he gets to ask to stay overnight, and you know that they bang a ring.
They make sweet love.
This is the lamest thing I have ever heard in my life.
Just smacking bones.
Yeah. Welcome to The Bachelor.
Do they 2 of them have ear candies? So do they turn them off or do they turn them up? Nobody will know.
Those are hearing aids again. Ear candy. That's hearing aids.
I can't wait. Okay.
That is a good question. Would you turn them up or turn them down?
Because He was looking at you.
I don't know though.
Okay, let's get back to reality, shall we? Jesus, pal. I mean, no, I can't stand reality television.
I know you can't.
It's just all fake, scripted bullshit. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Is it more fake than your scripted shows? Maybe.
No, they're supposed to be fake, though, because they're scripted.
Joking.
Once you follow, work on your humor.
Bam! I'll take that as a note.
Honest to God. Judd, I'm having a hell of a day. I get here. Everybody's nuts.
What did I walk into?
Oh, we can't hear.
There we go.
What did I walk into?
Hey, what did I walk into? Christ, I literally got off the elevator and I could hear him bitching down here about this one thing. And I'm like, oh God, this ought to be great.
Survivor's been on since like AJ was born, first of all.
Yeah, since season 45.
And The Bachelor, it's unbelievable.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I can't do it. I tried watching that stuff, but it's so fake to me. And is it fake or is some of it real?
Oh,
it's all fake.
It's
all
very
fake?
produced.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm fine with it. Like,
no, if you like it, you like it. I don't have any problem with that.
that's where I'm at in life.
Well, I'll give you an example. I probably am one of the very few people. I love watching shows about mobsters.
Yeah.
Like what they used to be, because I grew up around criminals. I find that fascinating.
Luckily for you, they've made quite a few.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there's no short supply of mobster documentaries.
That's very, very true. So, Judd, do you follow any sports where people didn't beat the piss out of each other last night?
No, I don't think I do. I don't think I do. But I mean, hell, the Wolves won again, and now they're a juggernaut, and they've become one of the best teams in the NBA after years of being towards the bottom. So what the hell, right? If it takes a little bit of a brawl against the Golden State Warriors, then I guess Wolves fans will take it. So.
I just don't. Because I watched the highlights. I didn't see the game because I was out working. I'm like you guys sitting around in your ass doing nothing. But so I came home and I watched the news, and that was this morning. I watched the news because I went to bed right away. But I watched this morning. What caused the fight with the Timberwolves? What was that? What was the cause of that?
So it was sort of weird because it wasn't something huge. Jaden McDaniels of the Wolves and Klay Thompson of the Warriors sort of came together and pulled each other's jerseys basically, and then it just escalated from there. And they almost came to blows. They didn't, but then of course Draymond Green had to get involved and tried to choke Rudy Gobert, so he got ejected. Now Gobert, to his credit, just backed off and didn't do a thing, which was actually very smart. But it was completely unnecessary because that type of thing happens in an NBA game all the time, where guys just come together and have some contact and usually disengage at that point.
Yeah. Boy, he was choking the hell out of that guy last night.
Yeah, well, and lucky for him, Gobert only punches his teammates, not the opponents. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, I think Cat caught a break because he went to do a double reverse chokehold on Draymond while he was choking Rudy, but Draymond did the old chin tuck, so he wasn't.
What is this, wrestling?
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. But
speaking of scripted.
But he tucked his chin, and so I feel like, if he doesn't tuck his chin, Cat gets him in a chokehold. All of a sudden, Cat's out of the game too, and who knows what happens.
It's a very good point. And then you move over to hockey, and we understand. I thought he had already been charged with manslaughter, but he hasn't been charged yet in that throat-cutting incident with the skate.
Oh yeah, that's a sad story, and so it's
very sad.
Well, it's interesting too because all the reports are that they have arrested someone. Like, we all know who it is, right?
Yeah,
it's the guy that made. But the reports are we've arrested someone. We're going to charge him with manslaughter, it looks like, but they're not using the name. So like all the stories, if you read them, basically have to come to the conclusion, well, there's only really one guy can be. It's a weird story. I've seen part of the footage. I won't watch it past when he gets hurt because I don't want to see all that blood. It's disgusting, but it's so grainy. I can't tell if it's on purpose or not. Like it is weird. It's a weird play. But it's going to be very, I mean, it's still a long way from actually being, going through the process, but it is a weird story. And here's my takeaway. Make everyone just wear a damn neck guard.
They are making them now in England. They said that you will wear a neck guard from now on.
Everyone should.
And I always wear them. Yeah, and I always thought the neck guard, it must be this big clunky device you have to put on. It's literally like a turtleneck that's got a pad in it that whatever goes around for some of them at least. I don't know, AJ, you're more familiar with the hockey.
Oh my god, I was there for like the early iterations of youth sport, like youth F hockey like associations requiring those. And I don't know if you know, I don't have much of a neck. So I would go out there and I'm like, pass me the puck. I can't look down. So I was never a big fan of them, but like since my time playing youth hockey, I worked at a hockey store, and I mean, the technology is too advanced now not to. There's like these undershirts that have it built into the, like you said, it's a turtleneck, but it's Kevlar, so it's cut resistant. And it's you would never notice it's there. It is not at all like intrusive on your playing. There's no reason to not if you're a professional, especially a professional. You're getting them for free. Just say, hey, here's my size, and then you're out there and you're fine.
So why haven't they done this a long time ago?
Because hockey players are tough guys.
Same thing as why there's not, they didn't. Visors are relatively new in terms of being like required. There's still some guys in the league who are grandfathered in of, like Zach Bogosian on the Wild now. He just got traded for, but he was playing before visors were required. So he goes out there with just the helmet, nothing over his face. So he could get smacked in the face with a stick or a puck, and he's going to lose some more teeth, and that's that.
God, I used to love them. One of my favorite people of all time, the former goalie for the North Stars, did not wear a face mask.
Oh, Gump. Yeah, no. Gump Rosley was one of the last couple of guys who didn't wear a face mask and would get knocked out. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of old pictures of him laying on the ice, completely knocked out because he took a slap shot to the face, and his face looked like a guy who didn't wear a. Oh, you got that right.
I went on a date with a hockey player, and he was like, "Hey, I don't mean to gross you out, but I'm not getting new teeth until I'm done with my career." And so he took out his fake teeth.
Oh God, why?
Cool. It actually wasn't that. It was not that like.
Did you know he had fake teeth before you? Okay.
No, but like I should have guessed because he was a hockey player, but like it wasn't that big of a deal. Like I wasn't grossed out. It takes a lot for me to get grossed out. But I just thought it was really fun where he's like, why would I get new teeth until I'm
right? I mean,
done
it makes
with
sense.
this insane sport? I'm like, good point.
I never knew you dated Lou Nanny.
Yeah, well, I wish I could brag about dating Lou Nanny. That family's gorgeous.
Stop.
Louie,
why call me back?
Oh God, Catherine and I could talk to Louie on the phone the other night. Congratulated his grandson scoring his first goal as a Minnesota Wild player, and he just. Judd, you ever talk to Louie Nanny on the phone?
Oh yeah, yes.
Because here it is, basically. Okay, you be you, and I'll be Lou Nanny. This is exactly how it goes every time.
Louie, what's going on? How are you?
I don't have time to talk to you right now, but I can be on the phone for like 2 minutes. God, it's like Louie Christ.
He's actually not doing anything. He just really hates talking on the phone to people.
That might be right.
That could be true. My mom likes to answer the phone in the most insane places where I'm just calling to kind of check in because, she's in Florida now. And I'll be like, hey, she's like, hey, I'm literally checking out at the grocery store. I go, don't answer your phone. I don't have much time. What do you need to tell? Nothing. Like I never have to tell you anything. What? So imagine somebody's literally checking out at a grocery store and answers their phone.
Now you made me miss my mother. Way to go.
I'm sorry. You want to call Beverly? She'll answer.
Catherine was the one that pointed it out to me many, many years ago. And I never even used to notice that she did it. But when Catherine pointed it out, my mother used to answer the phone. She'd go like this. Hello.
Oh, yeah. That's an old school one.
Yeah, it's that really old school.
Yeah, I've heard that before from older folks. Yeah.
Hello.
I like the rev up.
Yeah, what's the rev up? What is that for?
I love it.
Are you ever going to cheer up this morning? You're sitting there a crabby look.
Just sitting here.
Big baby.
Minding my own business.
Yeah, Tevin.
Listen to you talking about how your mother answers the phone.
Attitude.
Yeah, Tevin, get it.
Ruining the show.
Sorry.
It's unbelievable.
Mellow.
No, it's not mellow.
It's not mellow.
Mellow. Whatever. I don't know. I don't have any weird way that I answer the phone, so I have nothing to add.
You don't answer your phone, so you don't have to worry about it.
No, not when I'm busy.
That's the smart move, though.
When I'm busy.
That's the smart move. Yeah.
We'll send you.
And now you can screen calls too. It's just fantastic.
There are some people that do not answer the phone. They always text back. There are some people that do that. They just don't want to talk on the phone.
My big thing is like, I will call you after the baby goes down to sleep. I always just shoot a text. Hey, because she sleeps all the time. So like, I'm putting her down. I put her down at 7:30 p.m. So like, I'll make all my calls in. So I'm like, call you at 7:30, call you at 7:30. Like that's my thing.
Well, that's good.
But I also realize I must talk on the phone in front of her because she'll pick up anything, a flat item, and go, ma, 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 ma.
Uh-oh.
Is that supposed to be?
You know what's coming next. When she can start repeating your words, be careful.
Oh, she's a monster. Like now she sees my phone and goes, music. And because like that's her sign for music because she knows I can play it off my phone. And then if she doesn't like the song, she goes, more music. I was like, girl, this song is a bop. She's a monster.
Well, where did she get that from?
I'm
Justin, yeah.
What flavor is that?
Cherry.
Oh, that looks really good.
You tried this?
No.
I still have another liquids for you to try.
The coconut bar is really good.
Smell this. You're gonna love the way it smells. You can actually try it if you want it, but
It smells just like you.
Really?
No.
It's got a very strong cherry smell, which I know you'd like.
Yeah, I do like that. That looks good. Anyway, sorry about that, Judd. So we've already talked about getting in fights in basketball, getting in fights in hockey.
Yep. Neck guards. The Vikings play Denver on Sunday. I think that I think there's an off chance, and we'll get more information today. Justin Jefferson might be back. So if he comes back, that's going to help the cause quite a bit. I got to think he's back in the next couple of weeks, if not Sunday, then probably the Monday night game against the Bears. So that's going to help.
Should we be nervous about the Broncos game? I mean, if you would have asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have thought we just absolutely walk over them. But now they're seem to be a pretty hot team. They've won, 2-3 in a row?
Yeah, Buffalo, that game on Monday night was so weird, and Buffalo completely blew that. I thought there'd be a Vikings letdown last Sunday against the Saints, and there really wasn't for the most part. So I don't think nervous is the right word here. I feel like this team now is fun to watch too. It's very weird to say because at 0-3 and 1-4, they weren't fun to watch. But the Broncos, I think, benefited from the Bills' ineptitude. But if the Vikings play the way they've been playing, I think they win. Probably close, but I think they win.
Am I fooling myself? Should I be fired up about this Viking game? Because I am.
Yeah, I think you should be.
Is that a mistake?
The season feels like this is something we should be excited for moving forward.
Of course it's a mistake because eventually they'll probably crush your hopes and dreams, but enjoy it while it lasts. That's all I can say, right?
I love the question. Should I be excited about this? Because I am. It's too late. It's happened.
As a lifelong Viking fan, I've been punched in the nuts enough. All right.
I'm having fun. This mystery Dobbs. I'm just nobody can guess what he's going to do next.
Awfully
and I'm here for it.
Judd, am I wrong? He is awfully good, isn't he?
Well, he's played great. I mean, his career resume does not suggest he's this player.
No,
but he's played great, and I think I think the fact that his head coach is actually able to identify with the quarterback and help him out helps a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, this reminds me, and they're different players, but this reminds me of 2017 when Case Keenum stepped in for Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
And had that one great year. And look, that was it, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
So I have no idea if Dobbs is the long-term or the 2024 quarterback for this team, but this is a lot of fun and enjoy it while it lasts. Because as a Viking fan, I think that should be the credo.
And you mentioned Kevin O'Connell. There's a video that got put out of that touchdown scramble, and KOC is on the sidelines. He's like, I'm just going to give it to you again. And he watches the play and he scrambles in, and he's just standing there. He's like, I don't know how he just did that. Even the coach is getting impressed with this guy. So it's kind of one of those, you just have to sit back and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
There you have it. All right, Pally.
Exactly
so it's only Wednesday, so I get 4 more days that I could pull back on my excitement. What do you think?
I'll check in tomorrow and see. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where's the Tom Barnard excitement for the Vikings at right now?
It's about 7. I got to be honest. It's really high because that guy has impressed the hell out of me.
All right. I'll check back tomorrow and we'll see if it still maintains at 7, goes down, or perhaps even goes up.
Well, Jefferson, if he is back, that should add a lot to it, I would think.
Oh, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
Hell of a talent. There's no question about it.
Oh, he's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
So, I don't know. Am I fooling myself yet again as a Viking fan?
Probably.
Yeah, you probably are, but enjoy it while it lasts. I'm telling you.
True. I'm just going to enjoy it.
It's a backup quarterback.
I know, and he's like 4th string backup, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, he was option 4. Yeah, that's not wrong.
And now here's me. Oh, the Vikings! I'm all excited.
know,
What am I going to learn?
You know what? There's nothing more fun in sports than unexpected success.
That's true. That's a very good point.
And it feels like borrowed time. So it's like whatever happens, you know what I mean? Like, all right,
They're playing with the house money at this point.
right? Like,
I like it. Okay, we'll leave it at this. I am very excited about this team right now, and I admit it. I am very excited about them. And if I get, kicked in the face, I guess yet another one since 1961. That's all I have to say, right?
All right, fair enough.
All right, Pally, we'll talk. We will check in with you tomorrow.
It sounds good. Talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Judd.
Bye.
Judd Delgado's Score North, ladies and gentlemen. We got to take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Let's take a second to talk about my bank, North American Banking Company. You've heard me talking about them for a long time now, like Bilski. You know what I'm saying? He loves it when I do that, by the way.
well, I mean, it's like the cutest nicknames. When I saw him on the boat, I was like, Bilski.
He says he had people walk up to him on the street and go, Bilski.
I mean, it's iconic.
I love it. You've heard me talking about them for a long time now. North American Banking Company, when they opened in 1998, they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for their customers, where you know your banker and they know you. Well, a lot has changed since 1998. This commitment to being a true community bank in the Twin Cities has not. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my bankers at North American Banking Company? Go to nabankco.com or stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Tom here, and I just read a success story from MN Fat Loss client Elizabeth, who just completed the program. Elizabeth writes, I'm a 54-year-old woman who has struggled with losing weight. I had almost constant heartburn, trouble sleeping, brain fog. I tried counting calories, eating bars and shakes, and several other programs in which I would lose 5 to 10 pounds after months of struggling. After 60 days of the MN Fat Loss program, I was down 25 pounds. MN Fat Loss had really empowered me to believe that I can control my eating and my weight without having to sacrifice foods that I like. If you're thinking about finally committing to improving your health, this is the time to start. You won't regret your investment in yourself. It's so easy to see if MN Fat Loss is a good fit for you. They offer a free phone consultation to learn about the program. They also have virtual options to help you if you live far away, which I think is a brilliant idea. To schedule that free phone consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. The only thing you have to lose is that unwanted weight. That's www.mnfatloss.com. I cannot wait to hear about your success story. And please let them know that Tom sent you. Yeah, baby. Oh, I got the thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
Always.
a good sign?
That was impeccable timing.
Nice try.
It was. I thought
Indeed.
I was going to have to yell a bit more.
Y'all have helped support MyPillow and their employees in these tough economic times, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Lindell knows this. And he continues to give back to listeners with deals on his most popular products. You've heard me recently speak about the My Slippers, the Giza Sheets, My Pillow 2.0, and more. Well, great news. The My Pillow 6-pack bath towel sets, they're back in stock. The proprietary technology makes them extremely absorbent, yet still provides that soft feel you look for in a towel. The set comes with 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. Regular price $79.98, and for a limited time, you can get the 6-pack towel set for only $39.99 with promo code TOM. That's a 50% savings. So go to MyPillow.com, use promo code TOM to save 50% on the MyPillow 6-pack towel sets. That is just $39.99 for a set. This deal will not last long. All you have to do is enter promo code TOM for this special and many more. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. News brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Just had dinner with Josh and his lovely mate. Last night, we went to Leela, which we love. It's over there at the, that's a Marriott, isn't it? Right there on Highway 100 and 494. Used to be Sofitel.
Oh, I think you're right.
I think it's a Marriott now.
Yeah, I think it's a Marriott.
But I introduced him to Sammy and everybody else over there. And just, God, we had a great dinner, great time. You guys ever go there?
No.
Nope. It's phenomenal.
But in my defense, I don't go anywhere ever.
Never, you never.
Can we acknowledge that Chris is a man of the people wearing a sweatshirt?
Just casual, average guy, Chris Egert here.
A little chilly in the studio today.
It's a sweater.
Oh,
It's a sweater. Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry, Tom has a look of disgust.
No, I don't. Everybody's a pain in the ass today for some reason. I don't know why. I hate all of you.
Fair.
Chris just laughs.
I mean, here in your defense, Tuesday.
In my defense.
And Tuesday you have a break from me, and then Wednesday you have to it's hard.
It's horrible.
It's horrible when I come back on
Horrendous.
Wednesday. There's like a ramping period. But I'm done with my Tuesday class now, so
oh God,
no
why
break.
me?
It'll be 24/7, Brittany and Tom till the day we die, or someone dies,
or someone. What?
Wow,
what the hell kind of thing is
this
that?
is very aggressive.
Yeah, she didn't say it was one of you two. It could be it could be me, it could be AJ, Chris. You never know.
It's like working with psychopaths.
My eating habits are pretty poor, so you never know.
you guys
Oh.
He just says, yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm the same way, AJ. I could go any minute. Massive heart attack would not.
Sure. Absolutely. I tell you one thing, AJ, you like Italian food, right?
I mean, you've seen me.
You always act like you're something you're not, AJ.
Right. For
Take
people that
it
don't
easy.
watch on YouTube, they probably think AJ's just huge. He's not huge.
AJ.
No. Yes, I enjoyed we actually had pasta last night.
Oh, we did too. We had Layla.
So
it was
good.
phenomenal. And now, ladies and gentlemen, back to my 600-pound producer.
I know, yeah.
Is there still is that show still on my 600-pound life?
Once in a while, I will get sucked into that show, and I'm like, what am I doing?
What do you mean? I look great.
Oh, they always have somebody who just keeps bringing them food,
Yeah,
too.
oh, yeah,
It just blows my
absolutely.
mind.
It's true. So, Chris, what's the latest? Now, quick question, because you're a news guy, you would know this. Has the guy been charged yet with the manslaughter thing?
I don't. We just reported this morning that he'd already bonded out of jail.
Right.
I don't know that these have been officially charged yet, because I don't know how. We've got our reporter Bailey's actually on the phone right now with some of the folks over in England and trying to figure out what comes next in the step on that. I don't know how their process works, like their judicial process, because sometimes you can be arraigned on something before you're charged and yada yada yada. So I'm not sure where that stands.
Yeah, it's an interesting story, I will tell you. And I still do not understand. We talked about this, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but why wouldn't you protect your neck? I don't get it.
I'm not a hockey player, so I don't know,
No,
but I know we've talked to several people about it, and it's a very polarizing thing. I suppose, Tevin, you can relate to this. If there's certain pieces of football equipment that people would wear.
Like wearing a cup in football, they were always very uncomfortable and stuff like that. So there would be a lot of people that wouldn't wear them, especially.
Wait a second. Are you trying to impress me with you're packing some heat and it doesn't fit in the nut cup?
Yeah.
No, I mean, even if you have a regular size or smaller size, whatever, having a large plastic cup
Kevin's
in between your legs.
I do have a salad bowl down there.
Right, yeah. I had to get that KitchenAid mixer bowl and just.
Do you have the size 4XL? Because
he's got that Las Vegas dome down there protecting everything.
Oh, that's right. The Metrodome is in his pants.
I do have to say, so I remember my brothers being in hockey, and same thing with AJ's. They had that big fluffy neck thing. It's like, I do think the redesign could be just a very minimal plastic piece or something.
Well, it's even less now. It's so like your shirt, how it has the collar.
Yeah.
That's essentially what they are now, but it's made out of, as AJ was saying, like a Kevlar fabric. So you could take a skate to the neck and it wouldn't cut. So it feels more like just wearing a turtleneck. So there is no more that excuse of, oh, it's too cumbersome is gone.
Yeah.
I have a question. Does that mean you could shoot him in the neck and he wouldn't get hurt?
Okay.
I mean, I probably wouldn't test that while somebody's wearing it, but they're probably, I don't know, they're probably workshopping that, I guess, in today's climate.
They're workshopping the idea. What do they live up on Newton Avenue and Dowling?
Right.
Do you remember on Dumb and Dumber when he comes in and he's wearing like a Kevlar and he's like, well, what if they would have shot you in the neck or face? And he goes, we were willing to take that chance.
Well, see, there you go.
I do have a question for you, Chris.
Yeah.
Are you a big alien conspiracy theory guy?
I mean, yes and no. Why?
Because I turned on the news this morning and you guys were talking about the sonic boom flash that was heard in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And a couple of the other people on the desk were like, oh, maybe it was Bigfoot stomped his foot and that was the big boom, like making a joke. And then Chris kind of threw out or it could be aliens, but they didn't really expand on that. And he had looked like he had a little disappointment in his face. So I really wanted to use your now.
I'm glad you brought that up because that was one of the stories we had this morning. I think I might have mentioned it yesterday, but in Beltrami County, there was a flash across the sky and a loud boom, and it was caught on some people's doorbell cameras. The Beltrami emergency management people had to put out a statement because they'd heard from enough people about it. And they initially said it's likely a meteor. Right. And they sort of left it at that. Well, then they decided to consult with NASA and some other people who are in the know on these types of things. And another piece of video turned up showing something a little bit different. And NASA's like, that's not a meteor. So nobody knows what it is right now.
God, isn't that so this is it. This is up by Bemidji, right? Beltrami County.
Yeah.
I wonder what the hell it could be.
I mean, there was a news anchor that said aliens, so I think we're going to
run with that.
Listen, we haven't ruled it out. I mean, if they're going to say Bigfoot, then we certainly can't rule out the aliens, can we?
That's true. Why would a Bigfoot cause a big flash?
They're just making a joke.
They're just being stupid.
Oh, I don't get it. Okay.
Well, and one of you want to go down the rabbit hole and something funny is read the comment section on that story on the StarTribune.com. There's a variance in people's comments from tinfoil hats to a lot of meth lab seems to be the answer that people are putting up there.
Ooh, meth lab,
which is pretty cold.
Well, they blow up.
Well, but also leave remnants of a meth lab burning somewhere.
It's have a smell for sure.
It's people being mean to the folks in Beltrami County, but it is pretty funny.
So how bright was the flash? Was it a big flash or?
It was pretty significant. What's weird is from the one angle that they first put out, which was off someone's doorbell camera. It was pretty bright, and then it was loud. And apparently, when a meteor hits, it's not loud.
Oh.
And so that was another thing that sort of threw people off. And then there's this other piece of video that was taken at the airport, I believe, that Beltrami County put up. And it looks more like the thing is flying straight across the screen. It's like that. And so from that piece of video that apparently NASA or some other experts had analyzed, it didn't look like the trajectory was that it was like a meteor that it was going to crash. So, and then they were saying it might have been a bug. And I'm like,
a bug?
Yeah, I looked at that. I mean, I don't know, whatever. Nobody's saying anything. I'm just saying it's getting weird.
Yep. I'm leaning towards aliens with you, Chris. And so, because there's no other logical explanation. That wasn't like something was falling to the ground. It looked as if something was propelling across.
Could you imagine? So like there, you talk about people coming from other countries and landing in Minnesota. Out of all the places aliens could land, they land in Minnesota when it's about to be so cold. Like their life would be hell.
Do you think that aliens are paying attention to weather patterns on Earth before they come land?
That's what I mean. Like can you imagine how like the hell they would be in if they're like, oh, why is it so cold?
They're like, this planet sucks, and they just leave.
I thought when you said aliens, you're talking about people that illegally cross the border.
Ew.
What?
Ew.
Care to comment, Chris?
Well, I guess we can't rule that out either. We can't rule anything out.
It could have blown up. You never know.
Just Canadians slingshotting across the border.
Yes, Canadians. That's exactly what I'm thinking about.
Hey, we did have that Chinese blimp not too long ago. So,
or was it?
Whoa!
Uh-oh. More conspiracies.
Oh, Chris is getting
now. This is not a conspiracy. This is not a conspiracy. In that same time when that blimp thing happened, remember? We had to scramble fighter jets and shot some other thing down. The government to this day has never said what that is.
Really?
Fact. That's not me being a conspiracy theorist. Like they have not said what it is.
Yeah.
Chris,
and there's
are you going to write this all down for your Thanksgiving dinner to like bring up during it to like be the crazy uncle that I think that you could really lean into?
Chris is that guy on the History Channel that's like, he's God, I can't think of the show, but it's like Aliens Explained or whatever. And it's the classic meme of the guy's just like, aliens, man. He's got his hair sticking straight up. That's Chris right now.
God's sake.
Well, that thing that was shot down, they have not come out and said anything about it. So that's legit. And that was covered by every major news organization in the world. So I'm connecting dots here that shouldn't be connected, but for what it's worth, that thing, nobody knows what it was.
God, I just looked at the time. You got to go, and I didn't get to make you really uncomfortable like I did yesterday. I was hoping to make you really uncomfortable.
You didn't make me uncomfortable yesterday. I'm glad you brought that up.
You're a liar.
No, listen. I'm not uncomfortable in too many situations.
You don't strike me as a guy who I bet you're the type that like walk away from an incident, and your wife will be like, "That was so awkward," and you were like, "I didn't notice."
No, I notice. I thrive off of awkward. Like
Same.
it's the best. Like that'll be the best thing that happens to me, no matter what it is during the day. If it's the most awkward moment,
I'm saying I don't know what. Yeah, that fuels me for sure.
I would imagine. So, any other big stories? I watched it. You know what? I'm becoming a big fan of the what is it? The 6 a.m. show. Is that the first one?
Well, we're on it. We're on at 4. We go on in the middle of the night.
I know, but I don't get up at 4 anymore.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
But no, we enjoy the show. It's good.
We had all kinds of weird stories today. A woman who was convicted of murder for poisoning somebody with eye drops.
Oh, Jesus!
Dang.
So I saw a video of her getting like sentenced and just
yeah, like 6 bottles of Visine. We had a lady down in Arizona who's like 80 get arrested for a murder in 1985. Jeez. There's all kinds of weird, because you don't think of, older people, you think of an 80-year-old woman, like that's not your prime suspect mainly when it comes to murder cases.
But how about that mugshot?
I know.
It's like, geez. She's an 80-year-old woman, scared me just looking at her picture.
I'm looking it up.
Holy Hannah.
I would not throw down with her. I can tell you that right now. She looks different.
Brittany, look up it's like Rose Lynn Daly or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and the thing about that is like,
my gosh.
She's got the Kubrick stare down.
Well, the thing is, it's a cold case that has been cold for like 40 years.
40
so,
years.
You got to think when she commit the killing, it's not,
you're right.
She wasn't 80, but yeah, now you got to think they would have said, hey, can we get a little bit of lighting on Rosie here? My goodness.
My goodness.
Is it possible to put up a picture of that woman on our website or during the show?
They just should be able to throw it up.
Yeah, we can always send it to Melissa, post it.
She's got a look on her face like, I'll kill you too.
I'm not, innocent till proven guilty, but she does have a look. If looks could kill, that she's putting it out there right there.
She'll do it again.
She does. The Kubrick stare where you like look down, like angle your chin down and then like look up in your eyes.
Yeah,
that's what she's doing in it. Like it's Chris. Oh God, Chris, stop. Oh no, Chris.
Chris, that was a good hoodlum murderer face you had there.
Thank you.
was really nice. You did a
Wait,
great
I
job.
guess is that a compliment? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was a compliment. Absolutely.
Okay.
No question about it. All right, Pally, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Have a good day, guys. Sounds good.
Chris Egert, ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5 Eyewitness News. But I'm becoming a big fan of that 6 a.m., 6:30 newscast that they do over on Channel 5. They do a nice job. Of course, Hannah carries the crew. But
Obviously.
it's just a
Absolutely.
given.
Mm-hmm. 4 a.m. Dang.
Yeah, you get up to that means you have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do a 4 a.m. newscast.
I bet he gets up earlier than that.
And probably
You got to put on
I was
makeup
gonna
and be
say,
that's
camera
true.
ready.
They
That's
have to
true.
look like that's one nice thing about radio is sometimes we be looking trashed. And
Well,
they
speak for you.
I was just gonna say, we look presentable. You, on the other hand,
Nice hat.
today I put on a little bit of cover up and thought I look like $1 million.
all wrinkly and green.
Just a little dab, and I thought, wow,
She
I really
ignored
stepped
that. I
it
love
up.
that.
No, I'd be like green wouldn't be so bad on me.
Oh my God.
Mm.
Why didn't I just stay in the record business?
Aren't you glad though?
It's not a lot of records
No,
left
I'm
to
gonna
be.
say-
That'd be kind of a hard job to have these days.
Do that.
No question. Ladies and gentlemen, news brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Chris Egert, Channel 5 Eyewitness News. And if you haven't, seriously, tune into their morning shows because they're really good.
Yeah.
And don't tell them I said this, but Chris is a big part of that. Hannah does carry the show.
Yeah.
But I love watching it. I do. I watch it every morning now.
Even the Beatles need a Ringo, you know?
Yeah, see?
And
I like it.
nobody plays Ringo better than Chris Egert.
Very good play. I love the fact you brought up Ringo because that thing popped in my head again. Interviewing many years ago on the Q.
Yeah.
Line went dead. About 3 minutes later, he called in on the request line.
That's so impressive.
I mean, Ringo calling in on the request line was pretty cool.
How do
I'd like to hear a song.
And he's like,
It's got to be by the
"Whoa,
Beatles,
yeah.
though. It has to be.
Oh, Tom, I think the cold drops.
I tell you what, it's going to be a big problem. What is that a Liverpool thing when they talk like
The
this?
Scouse.
I'm scared to try.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to even attempt.
Is that-
Come on,
Liverpool.
let's hear your Liverpool delivery.
Is that a Liverpool thing when they talk like
Oh,
this?
it's pretty close.
No, we're going to the store.
You're right. You shouldn't have tried.
See, we're doing a show.
Me and the lads are down to the pub for a pint.
We're gonna get a pint.
What is that one area in England where you literally cannot understand the word they say?
Oh, they made that whole movie
Yes, they did.
about, and they had to do
They
subtitles for Brad. He says, save your breath for your porridge. Like, and your porridge, save your breath for your porridge. But they had to put subtitles in Brad Pitt's stuff because he leaned into it so much you couldn't understand a word he said.
A little grumbly and mumbly.
Save
No
your breath
question
for your
about it.
porridge.
No question about it. We shall be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Got a guest coming up next. Dave Bialke will join us right after this. Guys, if you want to reignite your intimacy once and for all, Tevin. You want to reignite your intimacy for all?
Come on, Tevin.
Sure.
Sure,
They're going down to the place right now.
Premiere.
I'm going to the place. Guys, if you want to reignite your intimacy once and for all, listen, just give Twin Cities Premier Health a call for a discreet and confidential in-office evaluation by their highly trained staff of medical professionals. And I've been there many, many times, and I know them. And I wouldn't call them highly trained staff of medical professionals unless they were. You feel me?
Feeling it.
Feel you, dog.
Acoustic wave therapy sessions are 25 to 30-minute treatments with no pain, no downtime afterwards. And right now, Twin Cities Premier Health is offering a free treatment and a free consultation when you book today. Receive this $800 value when you use code word TOM at TwinCitiesPremierHealth.com. You may know that age-related erectile dysfunction is most commonly caused by a buildup of plaque in the arteries that supply blood to the erectile tissue. Acoustic wave therapy can rescue your relationship and has been clinically proven to break up plaque and improve blood flow to the penis, to the peen. The thing you were talking about earlier with the nut cup?
Yeah, and
That's
the
what that
KitchenAid mixer.
Exactly. Definitely take advantage of this limited time special offer. Receive a free treatment and a free consultation when you book today. This is a savings of $800 when you use code word TOM at TwinCitiesPremierHealth.com. I would not recommend a service like this unless I knew they could help you.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I'm so happy to welcome back our longtime friend, Sabre Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. I've told you this before. I do not call people my longtime friends unless they really are my longtime friends. And Steve and Tatiana definitely are. So there you go. So that's why I'm happy to welcome back our longtime friend, Sabre Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, to the show. I've known Steve, the owner, for many years. I completely trust Sabre to keep my house comfortable. Why? Sabre does everything the right way, and they always put the customer first. I love the team at Sabre because their service experts are experienced NATE certified technicians. They are not salespeople. Their pricing is completely upfront, and they fix only what needs to be fixed, nothing more. Sabre is dedicated to giving customers what they need, when they need it, and at the fair price, of course. Keeping your family safe and comfortable without breaking the bank. Give Sabre Heating and Air Conditioning a try. I know they'll take care of you just like they've taken care of me and my family. Whether you need a new Bryant furnace or air conditioner replaced or just simply need a service call to get you going again, go to saberheating.com. That's SABRE heating.com. Sabre and Bryant, whatever it takes. And she mentioned that big old voice thing. Somebody sent me they have a recording of me from like, I don't know, many, many years ago. Back when I was just kind of in the business.
Yeah.
So I didn't open my mouth any more than this when I talk.
Yeah.
My voice was like this all the time. So here's another great song coming up on 1500 KSTP. You sound like I was dozing off, for Christ's sake.
You sound like every teenager that I'm around all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
They mumble now. Yeah.
They are like, they're not allowed to show that they're excited about anything.
Oh, yeah.
And
You're right.
so I go, hey, you want to go do this? Yeah. What the hell did you just say? How the hell am I supposed to will you text me your answer?
It's all true, sister. That's all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. On the phone, joining us now live, Dave Bialke, brought to you by Bialke Law Firm. Hurt at work. Dave Bialke goes to work for you, taking care of your workers' comp, injury claims, and denials. Go to BIALKElaw.com. Tell them Tommy sent you. Dave, how'd you ever talk Bialke Law into sponsoring you? How'd that ever happen?
They're just good people over there.
That's what it is. It's all the good people.
They just look me up. Yeah.
All the
Speaking
fine
of good
people.
It sounds like it's what, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock here. Back in the mother country, it's what, 3 o'clock. You all sound like you're over there in Britain.
Thank you.
The mother country. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I suppose it is 3 o'clock. Is it a 6-hour swing? Is that right? 6-7 hours, depending on time of the year?
Depending on I lived there for a year, and I know every one of you are doing in the British accent better than I could ever. And I lived there a year.
Well, not Tevin.
I won't even try it.
Yeah, Tevin sucks.
First of all, I was the best one out of anybody that opened their mouth today on the show. So,
oh my God. I think he's lost his mind.
He's lost his mind.
To answer one question, the accent over there that's most difficult to understand is in Birmingham.
Birmingham, that's exactly right. Very good, sir.
Oh, when you're over there, you can have a town 20 miles away. They can do miles over there, 20 miles away, and you can notice a difference in accent.
Sure.
I mean, it's that close. But Birmingham, I had a friend over there, and we went out to a pub one night, and so then it gets a little louder. After a while, it was like I didn't even know English. I mean, I couldn't understand a word anyone was saying. They were all talking with marbles in their mouth, and it was amazing. But Birmingham is the thickest accent in England itself. Then you get into Scotland, and it gets more even worse. But in England proper, Birmingham is by far the worst.
But Dave, I got to be honest with you. As a young boy, I was 18, 19 years old, moved to Grand Forks. I could not understand a damn word they were saying in Grand Forks. I mean, you leave North Minneapolis, you go to Grand Forks, and it's like, I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he told me that. I was like, what the hell are they saying? I couldn't understand them. It was unbelievable. But I got used to it, so that was good.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you move to England for a year?
It was my last year of college.
Oh, okay.
One of those deals back then. Yeah, it was 2 of us went over there, and we spent a year, like 9 months over there, and it was quite an experience. I really enjoyed it, and I've been back probably 7-8 times since then. I really enjoyed Britain.
Oh, I do too. We took the family over there when the kids were little, and typical my family though. We're in the Tower of London, okay, and all of a sudden we can't find Andy anywhere, and then all of a sudden we hear this. I look over and he went hid behind a knight, the armor, so he couldn't hear him. But it made the fart even louder.
I love that, like, you are telling this story to a man who's going to be here in an hour.
He'll be here in about a half an hour. Yeah, in about an hour. You're right.
Poor guy.
I based on the noise, I thought that was going to go a completely different direction.
I was like, what was he doing behind there?
What? Wait a minute.
I'm so confused.
I thought you said he was about to like pop a squat and
Yeah.
just let
That's
her
what he
rip,
was saying.
No, he farted.
He farted, yeah.
No, I thought he was like,
Pooping?
yes, taking a number 2.
I kind
On
of
the
thought
streets
he
of
was.
London.
I never looked, so he may have been.
Because was he young enough in diapers or no?
No, he was not in diapers. He's like 13 years old.
Oh, never mind. I had the imagery of like a young Andy going behind there to poop.
Right.
So yeah,
That
we're
was
all
what
on
I
the same
thought.
page. But
I
wrong.
understand.
And all the workers just rolled their eyes. Oh, another American that's farting behind the night there. Yeah, here we go again.
It's absolutely true. So Dave,
They
what's
have
the
no
latest?
respect for us over there.
Well, that's true. They're nice to you. They're very, very pleasant to you, but not a lot of respect for America. You're right. So what's the latest in your life?
Not a whole lot. This weekend, I'm going to Denver with a friend of mine to see the Vikings. We always go to 2 or 3 away games every year. And, we have season tickets. We all sit together at the game itself in town here, but we go to 2 or 3 away games, and this is one of them. It should be fun.
Now, have you been in Denver quite often?
A few times, never for, I saw the Twins there, when I did the bucket list to see the Twins. I did that years ago, and I've been there a couple times since for other reasons, but I've never been to a football game there. So we'll check it out. Should be fun.
God, yeah. So you guys head out like on Friday or Saturday?
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, Saturday night. The game is on Sunday night, so we'll have all day Sunday at the game, or at downtown Denver proper, and then go to the game Sunday night, and then fly back on Monday morning.
Well, I'm going to have a hell of a weekend. I didn't realize that because on Saturday night I'm going to see the Eagles at the stadium, and I'll get home probably 11 o'clock at night Saturday. And now you would let me know that the Viking game is a night game, so I'll get to bed about 11 o'clock again Sunday night.
Yep, it's I think the time is 7:30 our time. I think.
Yeah, it is. I thought it's 7:20, but
okay.
yeah.
So it's 11
Mountain
o'clock.
time. I think that's 6:30. I think when we're out there.
Something like that. So yeah, the game. So the game will end right around 11:30 then, probably 11 somewhere in there.
I would never stay up that late. How dare you?
Well, not 11:30, 10:30. So I'll get to bed about 11. What, you would never stay up late? What?
No, like I would be. That's a hard one because you're going to find the results out. So I get where you're coming from, but a lot of times I just record things when they're that late. That's so late.
I got to support my new guy.
Also, you're going to know there's not a chance you're not going to know spoilers. So you kind of have to stay up, I guess.
I do. I have to stay up. There's no question.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the new guy, Dave? He's very impressive so far.
We were very nervous going into the game last week. Because it could go either way. There's been a lot of flashes in the pan over the years that they go one way. They're all excited, and then they just fall on their face. It's a tough business, but he, for the first half last week, really played well. The second half, and I was talking to Bob Sansevier, I'm on his show on Monday, and he disagrees with me on this. I think that O'Connell, he was very critical of O'Connell and about going conservative second half. I think what he's doing is that we got a big lead here. He didn't want to injure him because if he runs out and then he injures himself, then we're putting Sean Mannion in. Oh, then there's the lights are out after that. So I think that's what he did. But we talked about that. Bob just thought that he should have kept the foot on the gas pedal, and I understand where he's coming from. But so that was last week. This week, I think he plays a complete game, and I think that we get our first win that's not a single score win, which is like almost every game for the last 20 games the Vikings either lost or won single score. So I don't think that happens this week. I think we play better, even though we're underdogs according to Vegas, but we were last week too. So
that kind of surprises me. So because Denver's not very good this year, are they?
Well, they've really come about.
Okay.
Earlier this season, they were playing horribly. They had a terrible loss in Miami. It set up, one more score and would have been an all-time NFL record of a point differential. It would have happened, but the Dolphins actually laid down at the very end. So they are terrible earlier in the season, and they've really come about. They've won 3 straight, including a big win on. They completely dominated Kansas City, and then they went out to Buffalo on Monday night. A weird game, but still, even though it was a weird game, you go into Buffalo and you win. That's a big deal. So they're coming along very strongly. They got a miserable coach. That Sean Payton, the guy used to be at New Orleans, one of the most miserable guys that's ever been affiliated with the NFL. So if we can beat them, that would just be so good.
I got to ask you though, because I did not know that. He kind of has an attitude on the sidelines, I noticed, but in person, he's not a sterling character.
I don't know in person. I just know that he's a cheater. He was the one back in 2009 with the Bounty Gate. And since then, just one thing after the other. He was the one. He made a comment on Denver that when he got hired as a coach, well, they were really bad last year, but what they need is a good coach. They had a terrible coach last year. And
God.
So that obviously didn't go over very well. He's just a horrible man, So he's a pretty good coach. So.
It all works out in the end. In any case, so as far as Bialke, the law firm, how are things going? Everything you taking care of the people, keeping them safe?
That's what I do. Everyone comes to me. I get whatever the best result, whether it's resolution of the claim, which most cases settle in some manner, but we go to hearing. This is all I do is workers' compensation, so I certainly know what I do for 31 years and take care of my clients. Everything's going fine.
And they can reach you how?
You can either call me at 763-571-2410 or send me an email. Go to my website. You can click on that. There's a contact. That's bialkelaw.com, BIALKELAW.com. Or just do an email to me directly, dbialke, DBIALKE at, again, bialkelaw.com.
All right. Will you commit to admitting to saying that you will be talking about a winner at this time next week?
I absolutely commit that. You got to, sometimes you just got to take a stand, and absolutely.
I love it. Dave, thank you for your time this morning, sir.
You're welcome. Have a good day, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the phone was Dave Bialke, brought to you by Bialke Law Firm. Heard at work, Dave Bialke goes to work for you, taking care of your workers' comp, injury claims, and denials. Go to BIALKElaw.com. Tell him Tommy sent you. I got to get that phone number on here, too.
He's an interesting cat. I feel like we just always keep finding more and more layers to this guy.
Well, he's a really good guy.
Like a year in England? Okay.
Yeah, why didn't I get to do that?
I don't know.
I'm out of the mix.
You never went to college.
I never even finished. Well, I did finish high school. I tested out at 16, though. I didn't go the last 2 years. I went to homeroom. I did do that.
There's a lot of things you can do in college that none of us got to do.
I was there one day. So that was good.
Yeah, I don't think there's any study abroad for one day.
No studying abroad for one day.
Studying maybe a lady abroad. Get it?
Oh, that's what you did.
Oh,
there.
God.
Wait. There we go.
Very good. Do you have also a sound effect that shows spiraling down into hell?
Like, where's my big hook where people just grab me and pull me off stage?
Hey, good idea.
Leave Brittany
Ooh, who was that
alone.
crying? I heard that.
It's Chris.
Leave Brittany alone.
Chris
Thank
something.
you.
I can't remember his name, but yeah, Chris something.
Oh, the kid laying on the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like in a sheet.
He is in his sheet, isn't he?
I can't remember why I was looking him up the other day. I think we were talking about him on the show. we were talking about Brittany, and I got into this, like him doing that video, and apparently she did not like his video, and it put him in a quote unquote very dark place because Britney Spears rejected his video.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but she's nuts, isn't she?
Hey, take it easy.
Well, she is, I think.
I'm
Isn't
reading
she?
her book right now.
She's definitely has some mental health issues that she's struggling with.
Her parents.
Oh, I know.
I mean, can you come back from that?
No.
Yeah, there you go. I think her mindset is that of a teen because that's when she became famous and then all those things happened to her. So I don't know if she's nuts, but she's definitely got a regressed mind. Does that make sense? Like, I definitely feel like when the way she posts and is like dancing around with knives and things like that, I'm like, that's like something a teenager would do or like a child.
It's almost like a cult type situation. Like she was withheld from reality and now she's coming out and figuring out how the world works.
She's eccentric. I'm fine with her being eccentric. Everyone's got opinions about her being half naked on Instagram. It's like, I don't care. Like, if that's the word, if she's a bajillionaire and wants to do that with her money, fine.
Is she a drug addict?
I don't think so.
She wasn't a drug person.
They had her on a bunch of things while performing that she said that it was really difficult because I know like to keep her subdued. But I don't think I mean, I have no idea. I mean, we'll never really know, right? But I don't really think I think she's just regaining what control she has.
Yeah. I don't remember any Britney Spears drug related scandals.
No.
God, we treated her bad. The questions that people felt empowered to ask her as like.
You mean like reporters?
Yeah, like there's this interview with Diane Sawyer where she talks about her losing her virginity to Justin Timberlake and why would you cheat on him? All these things where it's like, why would we talk like that to people? Like you would never ask about somebody's virginity ever. Even back then you would have never.
No.
But like that was like a big talk. When I was a teen, it was like, who's lost their virginity? Like they would talk about that constantly with pop stars. And
how old was she when they were doing this?
That's a
Couldn't
great
have been very
question.
old.
No, she's Diane Sawyer. I can't remember.
How old is Britney Spears now? Does anybody know?
I'm thinking she's like 36.
That's
maybe
about right, I would think.
36. Maybe she's my age. 37.
41.
She's 41?
Yep.
Holy God.
To be fair, that kind of helps her given like all that sheltering and stuff. Like it has not done her any favors, like appearance wise.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like if you would have said like 33, I would have been like, ooh, that's rough.
That's a rough looking 33-year-old.
It's kind of negative.
She does this thing where, and again, this is very like teenager. She has the makeup on from the day before. And it's like layered underneath from, getting kind of wiped off. So under her eyes, because she does like the thick eyeyeliner.
Yeah, it looks
and
like
then
she's
kind of
crying.
bleeds a little bit because she slept on it. And it's very like that is a teenager move if I've ever seen it.
So the old man's totally out of the picture now?
Yeah, absolutely. Jamie Spears.
Jamie Lynn, her sister.
Her
Zoe
sister.
101.
The dad's name's Jamie.
Oh,
it is?
Wait, what?
I thought that was her sister.
It's Jamie Lee is her sister.
Jamie
Lynn. Yeah, thank you. And then Jamie Spears is the dad.
But he's out of the picture. He doesn't even live with them anymore?
I'm just double checking if she doesn't support him at all anymore. And then all these backlash about the money and where it was spent and all this thing.
Does she perform any longer?
She doesn't.
I didn't think so.
She doesn't have the residency in Vegas anymore.
She had that, and then she pretty much was doing that while under the conservatorship, and now she doesn't do any performing. She doesn't want to do performing right now at all.
Does she have a lot of money still?
Yeah.
Or did he piss it all away?
No, she has a lot of money, and then there's a lot of talk about like what if they have to pay any of that back because she had almost the whole family on her payroll.
Gee, I never heard of that before.
Oh, you little workhorse.
Are you in a conservatorship too?
I'm sorry,
I should be.
I love that too because like it's really funny because whose idea was it? We should all do a podcast.
It was my idea.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was a bad thing. I just said that was my life too.
You just like looking in a goddamn mirror, you and Britney Spears.
I just don't understand. I try to make a positive comment and you guys rip me to shreds.
Can you dance around half naked with knives for us?
Yes, that'd be a great idea. What a great plan.
She's a Slave for you.
What is that?
Britney Spears.
Oh, it is
One of her songs.
Mhm.
Yep.
I don't know. What was her biggest hit?
Baby One More Time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oops, I
yeah.
Did It
Hit Me,
Again.
Baby, one more time. Yeah.
Oops. Oh, yeah.
Toxic.
Was pretty
Oh,
big.
Toxic.
Didn't she have a Christmas album that was a big deal too?
I'm sure. I
feel
mean,
like she did.
yeah.
Britney Spears. She had Circus. She had, God, she's had so many good songs.
Oh my God. Speaking of Christmas songs, I heard the wildest Christmas song yesterday.
All right. Bring it.
I can't play the full thing here because of copyright, and frankly, it's just too long.
Jesus.
But it's called Old Fashioned Christmas. I
Mhm.
think it's by like Linda Bennett. Look it up on your own time and just listen through it. It is what a roller coaster. Like, and don't, if you look it up on YouTube, it's on YouTube. Don't look at the comments because it's going to spoil it for you.
Old timey Christmas.
Old fashioned.
Old fashioned.
Old fashioned Christmas. I think it's by Linda Bennett, like in parentheses, like dad's coming home or like daddy's coming home or something like that.
The way that you're describing this is like the way that I felt about the song that Reba McEntire made about her daughter prostituting.
What?
There's a song that's like, oh my God, I can't believe I can't forget it. Reba, she talks about her daughter, Fancy. The song's called Fancy. And my husband was singing it, and I was like, that's not a real song. And he's like, yeah, it is. And the whole song premise is this woman has this girl named Fancy, and she got her a special dress so she can go prostitute to more expensive men. It was wild. It's a wild ride. If you ever get a chance to listen to Fancy by Reba McEntire.
Was that a true story?
I hope not.
Jesus.
Mama washed and combed and curled my hair. She painted my eyes and lips. Then I stepped into a satin dancing dress and I split the side clean to my hips. And then it's like the whole thing is like, Fancy, don't let me down.
Oh, that song? I've heard that song. I'm familiar with that one. But and to add on to AJ's weird Christmas song list, you're familiar with the Yin Yang Twins, Tom?
No.
Not surprised. Are you, Brittany?
Yeah.
So it's a rap group from the South.
I will not listen to that shit. That's the worst music ever invented.
Okay. Well, then we'll
Other
that.
than California
We'll table
Love.
that for another day. Anyway, the Yin Yang Twins, who are this very raspy voice rap group, made a Christmas album.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it sounds exactly like you would think it would, but the opening line in one of their songs is like, ho, 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 ho.
Oh, God. Gee, why would I hate that music?
Yeah, why?
Why would I not
If you-
love that?
If you ever want to laugh, look up the Christmas album by the Yin Yang Twins. It's
So it
hilarious.
is yin yang, though.
Yes.
So they say it right. Most people don't understand. It's not yin yang, it's yin yang.
Oh, well, they spell it yin and yang.
Oh, they do.
Y-N-G,
That's wrong.
yeah.
Well, what a shock that it's wrong.
Shocking.
Shocking.
Shocking, man.
But they didn't do their research.
But yeah, listen to their Christmas album because it's the worst music you'll ever hear, but it's hilarious.
Actually, I like two rap songs. I like California Love because it's all about being proud of being from
Mhm.
California, which
Yeah.
is a nice, positive song. But the very, very first rap song, Rapper's Delight, I still love that song.
You're expanding because you used to say you only liked California Love, and now you're also saying Rapper's Delight.
But I remember Rapper's Delight because he goes, and the chicken
It
tastes
smells
like
like
wood.
wood.
It tastes like wood.
Sorry.
And don't sing over me ever again.
I thought we were doing something.
As long
I thought we were
we were doing
harmonizing.
something together.
I thought we were harmonizing.
Good. Are you mentally ill?
I thought we were going to harmonize there.
Honest to God. Should we call an ambulance? What do you think? Haul her off to the nut house?
All right, I'm going to do a note.
You're going to do a note.
This will be your Christmas gift to me. Ready?
Good job, boy.
Oh, Thomas
God.
Bernard.
Okay, why don't I do a note? See if you can do it. You ready?
Yeah, let's
Diaper
do it.
because you're being a
Wait,
baby.
Wait, are we
Oh,
harmonizing?
Jesus.
Are we harmonizing or are we trying to match you?
I'm not doing it. Forget it. How the hell did this show get so far off the rails, for Christ's sake?
And the chicken.
Tastes like wood.
Taste.
I know. I was
Not
waiting for you.
smells.
I was trying to get you happy again.
I am happy.
You want a diaper, baby?
Oh, why did I ever get back in this business? I was free and clear all of January and February, and then I was stupid enough to get back into it. What the hell was I thinking? You know what I mean?
I don't. I do. I was 2 days from retiring, and they pulled me
And
back.
they pulled me back in.
Just when I think I'm out, they pull me
Okay,
right
you know
back
what?
in.
We should set a bet up.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna in about a week I'll be doing the show remotely for a while.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you think I'll ever come back in studio?
Yeah.
I don't.
Depends on how bad you want to like hit one of us.
I just come back and start choking people.
The threats are a little less scary when they're not in person. I will say that.
Well, see, I don't know if people know that, but I did not do the KQ morning show from the studio for like 25 years.
But here's the thing. The vibe's different for sure. The vibe is very different here. I don't know if you'll come back. I hope you come back. I love being in a room with you.
Nice try.
I have the option to be at home all the time. Like you and Amy have told me, but
You're going to fire you? She has the option of being at home.
Stay home all the time. No, I have the option to broadcast and not drive in, but I like being here with you. If I didn't want to be here with you, I wouldn't.
Oh, really? You that big a deal, are you?
No. Oh my God, no. I just mean I'm not an essential worker, but like I can for sure. I like coming in. I like hanging out with you. I like being in a room with you. I know you're having trouble taking this compliment, and it's why you're lashing out at me.
Get away from me.
I enjoy being around you. You make me laugh.
I've known you since you were 17.
I honestly, I have a blast. So if you don't want to come in, I'll come to your house. Fine.
It's just you and Tom doing the show remotely from Florida.
Shouldn't that be just wonderful?
Catherine will let me in.
Oh, Catherine loves you. My whole family loves you. You know that. I'm
going to ask probably I'll bring some eggs. Ask her to throw them on the stove.
When I just made a statement, I have to run somebody. When I said my whole family loves you, would that include me?
Yeah, I know you love me.
God, so that I just lied to our listeners is terrible.
Let's harmonize.
Yeah, a little harmonizing. Let's get that harmonizing going, ladies and gentlemen. We got to take a break when we come back. I got to find out what's got to be something good going on in the news, don't you think?
Yeah, we got a good guest too coming up.
We do have a good guest. That's at 9:30.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I got that right. So it's not 9:20, it's 9:30.
Yep.
All right, works for me. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom here, and I just read a success story from MN Fat Loss client Elizabeth, who just completed the program. Elizabeth writes, I am a 54-year-old woman who has struggled with losing weight. I had almost consistent heartburn, trouble sleeping, and brain fog. I tried counting calories, eating bars and shakes, and several other programs in which I would lose 5 to 10 pounds after months of struggling, only to gain it right back. After 60 days of the MN Fat Loss program, I was down 25 pounds. MN Fat Loss had really empowered me to believe that I can control my eating and my weight without having to sacrifice foods that I like. Let me assure you that the short 60 days is totally worth it. If you're thinking about finally committing to improving your health, this is the time to start. You will not regret your investment in yourself. Great job, Elizabeth. So happy to hear about. And by the way, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I am not going to say I'm happy for someone unless I am. Yeah. I don't do that.
Get it, Elizabeth.
So yes, I'm so happy to hear about your success. Sorry you're ready to lose weight and feel better? Go to mnfatloss.com. Schedule a free phone consultation. It's so easy to see if MN Fat Loss is a good fit for you. They offer a free phone consultation to learn about the program. You don't have to take time off of work or get a babysitter for the kids. It's as easy as getting on a quick call with the expert staff. You can share your goals, learn about the program, and see if it is a good fit to help you lose weight and feel better. They also have virtual options to help you if you live far away. To schedule that free phone consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. The only thing you have to lose is that unwanted weight. That's www.mnfatloss.com. I can't wait to hear about your success story.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialke Law. Initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. You know, get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so we made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
The new Tom Barnard Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
Speaking of pickleball, I got a Sunday game going down. Just wanted you to know. I am trying to play pickleball.
Oh, I thought you were going to say there's it's like your tennis tournament that you're in. You have some big
I'm in tennis league.
Or tennis league.
Wednesday and Thursdays. I don't want to brag.
Have you been winning?
Great question. I have won my last couple matches, but I think it's a mental thing. I think eventually I break a little bit in singles and in doubles. I never know where to be in doubles, but
And how competitive are the other? Are you a competitive person?
Yeah.
So how are the other? Do you have to feel like you have to hold yourself back or ramp it up more for this league?
I go as hard as I can in everything I do. Like when I play pickleball, they're like, okay, we're going to warm up. And that's when I'm like, I should show them how good I am right now.
Right. And that's how I am. So I always have to gauge, like I'll play in co-ed basketball leagues and stuff every once in a while with some friends. And I'm like, well, how serious do I need to take this? Because once I start, I don't want to be the a-hole that is taking this way too serious.
Well, good luck.
Good luck with that. Look at your face. There's a lot
Oh my God.
There's a lot of etiquette in tennis though. You can look like an asshole pretty easily if you don't know the etiquette. Like I have no problem saying good shot when I'm like, that's a great shot. And like, I can relax in that way. But there can be people that if they want to be an asshole in tennis, you can like huff and puff and not comment on a shot and like not talk because you have to switch sides every 2 points. And so it's like, you can come off as and anyone who you played with who's an asshole, everybody knows that person's an asshole.
So I have a question. I haven't watched tennis since John McEnroe retired because I really, really missed him telling everybody what a piece of crap they were.
I do love it because there's like an honesty to it that like that does not. But it's funny because like I think you can be aggressive, like play very aggressively and play with all your heart. I go for every ball, but like you don't have when the point's done, especially in my league, like take it easy, Linda. Like
they still get all whipped up.
Oh, for sure.
They don't get paid, do they?
Oh no, we pay to play. Like,
so why would you get whipped up if you're not making any money? Who cares?
It's rare, but when it does happen, it feels so good to win.
Oh, okay.
Like,
oh yeah, it's so rare.
It's rare, you know what I mean? But
wait for you to win?
No, for them people to get be mean.
Yeah, okay.
But it feels so good if you're winning because it's usually they're winning when they're getting all worked up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was so annoying when playing tennis in high school.
You were a monster, were you?
Well, I played doubles all the time because I wasn't in shape enough to play singles, but I had a really good backhand, so I'd play on that side of it. And me and my partner, like what I lacked in skill, I think I made up for in like mind games because I was like,
oh, did you say, "Are you sure"?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's like a 4-letter word in tennis.
You do that, or like if there's a play at the net, you hit it directly at them, and then you stare them down while they like rub it, and it's like, yep, more than that. Come up to the net again. I dare you.
So asking somebody, "Are you sure?" Like if you said, "Hey, out," when we're hitting.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And the only thing you can say is, "Are you sure?" And it always ends up not well. Like it's pretty much saying you're a liar. You're a liar, and
why would you say that then?
People.
Because they're going to turn
AJ
on
would
you.
Say it.
Yeah. Well, like if somebody is getting, if I'm if I have the edge and they're trying to get back at, like, I can sense that they're trying to do a head game back at me, right? So they're going to call a close one out when it probably should have been in. I'll ask them, you sure about that? They'll, they hesitate a little bit because they're like, I know I'm cheating. And I'll say, okay, just checking, in a certain tone that they're like,
see, all of that is
right
coded. It's the most coded. Like, and if you were watching a tennis match, you'd be like, oh, he just asked, are you sure it's out? And it's what it really means is, I don't trust you at all.
And I'm with you, AJ. If like I see that and I know that it's in, I'm not going to cause a scene. But now, okay, now I see how we're playing this today. Okay, now we're going to turn it up a little bit.
But I'd also be the guy that's like, if I hear my buddy like down on court 1 playing singles, if I see him like in my changeover, he gets an overhead and he wins a point, I'm like, oh boy, Max, way to go. Like, I'm screaming. So everybody hears, just like throw everybody off. And that maybe another like guy who's playing second singles, he gets thrown off his serve and all of a sudden that's a double fault. And that helps another teammate of mine. So I'm trying to help everybody at the same time.
Okay. That's also assholey and to yell on the court, but it's fine.
I don't care.
Tom, was there like some etiquette in weightlifting that if you didn't know better, you would screw it up?
No, because there was a power room. So the real weightlifters, I mean, not people who lift weights. I'm talking about the guys the men and women who lifted weights to actually build muscle mass.
Yeah.
Instead of just stay tight and all that.
Yeah.
But you did not want to do that in the power room.
Yeah.
You did not want to do things like that.
So like, that's like etiquette. Like if I was just off the streets and I was like, I'm going to go in this room and do my 12 pounds in each head, you'd like, it's funny how people don't know that kind of like secret, like code or rules, the etiquette.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. They don't know. Well, you have to learn. But the number one thing about things like that is if you have to shut up and pay attention.
Yeah.
I mean, and people don't do that anymore. Nobody ever shuts up and pays attention anymore. And no matter where it is.
I think people are so scared to be vulnerable too. Like they don't want to be the new person somewhere. So they just like want to quickly adapt.
I wonder why that is. You think that people are very uncomfortable being the new person?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
I don't know. I've seen it so many times in different sports I'm in, but
Really?
yeah. Like there's a vulnerability people don't want to have by saying, hey, I'm new here and I don't know the rules. Will somebody like make sure I know what the etiquette is?
Yeah. Okay. I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It does indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Vincent Vargas with us, his latest book, Borderline, Defending the Home Front. It came out yesterday, as a matter of fact. You've seen Vincent on FX TV series Mayans. Vincent Vargas served 4 years of active duty in the United States Army, including 3 combat deployments with the 2nd Battalion of the elite 75th Ranger Regiment. 2009, he became a federal agent with the Department of Homeland Security. Vincent, are you ever going to achieve anything in your life? My God.
Yeah, no. There's still more on my plate that I want to accomplish.
You want to? Well, that's probably true. You go after it, don't you?
Yes, sir.
That is very, very cool. Matter of fact, Vincent, by kind of a coincidence, I suppose, just the timing of the whole deal. I have not seen my brother who served 4.5 years during the Vietnam era in my oldest brother, Terry. I have not seen him in 20 years. And to have you on today talking about the kind of things that you guys did, it makes me feel a lot better seeing my brother, Terry, this Friday. I'm very fired up now because I get to talk to you, Vincent.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
No, I do think that people understand what you guys actually put out there. And I mean, you just put it out there and it could have gone so badly. Do people appreciate what you've done?
For the book or for as in just serving this country?
Well, serving the country would be good too.
Yeah. For the book, it's kind of split, right? I think this conversation of the border and immigration is divisive because it's been politicized, right? And once you politicize something, everyone feels that they have to choose a side. And that's the hard part about the career field of Border Patrol is that now people choose a side and they believe any narrative that's put out there. And it's completely unfair to the organization.
And why does that happen, do you think?
This topic is complex, right? And this topic is also, there's a duality here that happens daily. There's Homeland Security that has to be managed, and there's also the immigration policy that is enforced. And so you have both sides of the argument they have an argument, but at the same time, the truth lies right in the middle of both of those arguments. We as a country have to have, good Homeland Security to protect our nation. At the same time, we're America. And so we have to uphold some kind of immigration policy that allows immigration. The unfortunate part is that people, are emotionally invested into a topic they know very little about. And so my goal in writing this book was hopefully to educate so we can have a further discussion that hopefully improves this situation and not completely becomes divisive to the nation.
See, that I love the way you handle it, because one of the concerns I have, and I should mention that I was I guess 20 years old in the middle of the Vietnam era, so that's my age group right there, Vincent. And maybe you get to this in your book, Borderline Defending the Home Front. Why do we have to go through periods of assassinating the president, assassinating his brother, and Martin Luther King, and then things calm down, and then they get worse again, and everybody hates everybody, and then it calms down again. And right now we're in a period where there is so much hatred out there. Why do we want to do that, Vincent? You ever understood that?
I don't understand it. I think we have to have outliers who have a voice for the country and are able to speak on the middle ground of it with an educated tone. It's too often that people are just using arguments and false narratives to push emotions. This is kind of, this is digital warfare, if you will. It's information warfare. And so the only way we can combat that is have people out here like me who are putting themselves out there, willing to risk everything and telling the truth about it from boots on the ground, firsthand information.
What drove you to do that? That's a great point you just made. What drove you to be that kind of guy?
I've served this country. It's just I believe in God, country, and family. And a big part of this country is trying to maintain this beautiful opportunity that we have here. As a Border Patrol agent or a former Border Patrol agent, I believed in the mission. And then I find myself in Hollywood doing acting and being able to be a storyteller of our time. I watched the news portray the career field that I respect so much and demonize them. And I felt it was unfair. Mm-hmm. And so the only thing I can think of is to tell my story as a Border Patrol agent, boots on ground experience, and use my platform to hopefully spread that message across the nation.
Could you talk just once more? Could you say those words again? Because when you just talked about, you ran down the three things, and it was all about love of life, love of country, love of family. I love hearing that because you don't ever hear that anymore, Vincent.
You have to stand on something, and that's my foundation in my life: is God, country, and family.
So you're kind of an old-fashioned guy like me. Same situation. No, I just love your attitude about the whole thing. You, first of all, you love life. Whereas right now, a lot of times, it's, this is wrong, and that's wrong, and this is horrible, and you did this, and everything's terrible. Why do people want to live their lives like that? I like it better when Vincent Vargas comes on and says, hey, man, I love God, country, I love my life, I love my family. We need to hear that a lot more, Vincent.
Yeah, I think the social media side of our generation has really hurt our nation. Likes and shares only happen through negativity and false narratives. You don't see a lot of likes and shares for beautiful things like love and affection and empathy.
I have not been on social media, and I believe it's been 12 years now. I really wish it would have never been invented. I literally think it's destroying the world. It's turning people into monsters, and I don't like it.
Yeah, like I said, it's information warfare. We really are. It's digital information warfare, and we have to get control of it.
Vincent, you're going to sit down. You're going to write a book. Your book is called Borderline Defending the Home Front. What drove you to? What sparked it? What drove you to write the book?
I don't know if you remember recently. There was this story of a Border Patrol agent on a horse whipping individuals, or the false whipping, right? And so, I know the career field, I know the job, and when I saw that image, I knew exactly what was happening. That's a gentleman trying to manage his horse with the reins, and it was taken out of context. And people taking that out of context went so high up that even, the highest of our nation, leadership was making claims towards the Border Patrol that were negative.
Yes.
And that hurt my feelings. That really offended me. And so that was the inspiration and the motivation to write this book, to be a storyteller and tell the fair story of our brothers and sisters who do the most challenging job that we have in our nation on our own soil.
What inspired? Did you grow up in a family that thinks the way you do?
I don't think it was as prevalent, right? My father did serve the Marines, but it was just to stay out of prison.
I love that.
You know, it was the era of the Vietnam era, and he got in trouble. He was kind of a street kid who got in trouble and decided to join the military over going to jail. And you know, he did raise me to believe in this country. But you know, it's me years and also being a part of watching 9/11 happen and watching how that affected our country. And then, you know, finding myself in a position where I needed something, and so I joined the military. And in the military and serving our country and doing the job of, you know, kill or capture terrorist organizations, that's what my job was as a Ranger. And you really start to understand how something out there, an effect you do out there, can actually change the narrative here in America. You can protect Americans because of what we're doing. And I started to really respect and understand what this country has afforded my own family, my own heritage, my mother and my father. And so I want to continue to invest in this country. I want to continue to invest in the country's ideology.
Boy, it's
land of opportunity.
must be kind of tough to be defending America. People don't want to hear that right now. I don't understand it because I love America as much as you do, Vincent.
Yeah, it's an interesting time, but, you know, I'll stand strong on my beliefs, and, you know, I'll continue to use the messaging that we have capable to us, and, you know, just be a storyteller, and hopefully, you know, that can help others, you know, stand tall in theirs.
I like that. Okay, so now I buy Borderline, Defending the Home Front. I open up the book. How does it start?
It starts with what was my inspiration for joining the Border Patrol. It talks about my father and wanting to make him proud, and as well as one of my non-commissioned officers who I served with in the military, whose dream was to be a Border Patrol agent. And tragically, he lost his life in 2006 in Ramadi. And my goal was to hopefully live his dream for him.
Really? What does he think of that?
What does he think of it?
Yeah. I mean, does he appreciate it? Yeah. Did he appreciate what you did?
Yeah, my father does. Yeah, and my friend who was killed in Iraq. You know, I hope he just looks down and is proud.
See, isn't that wonderful? So you're driven literally by what you say is who you are, Vincent. That's very impressive.
Yes, sir.
No question about that. Borderline, Defending the Home Front, the name of the book. Vincent Vargas, Vargas. And let me say, Mr. Vargas, thank you for your service. I really, really enjoy people like you. As I said, I'm going to go see my brother for the first time in 20 years on Friday on Marine Corps during the Vietnam era, and I can't wait to see him. It's been a long, long time. It's been way too long, Vincent. So you fired me up even more for seeing him because he's a lot like you. I will tell you that, Vincent.
Awesome. Well, thank you, and let him know I said thank you for his service.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too, sir.
Bye. Vincent Vargas. How great is that?
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
He's a medic. And I was a medic, and he's got a lot of the same. He doesn't get shaken up very easily, you can tell.
Yeah, I looked at the picture. I probably wouldn't want to slug it out with him. I got to be honest.
No, he can handle himself.
Kind of looks like he can handle himself.
Yeah.
There's a picture of him screaming, and I don't know what he's screaming at or anything like that. See, look at that picture. He's screaming like, God, that's me behind the wheel of my car.
That's
right
honestly, it's funny because I've seen so many photos like that of people taking photos in the back of the truck, selfies, where they're like, and you're like, you're taking a selfie right now at the end of the day. Like,
right. Well, in my mind, there was some press reporter that happened to be walking by and, you know, snapped a quick photo.
Looks like he's in a truck.
He whipped out the selfie stick.
Where do you think we're headed with all this stuff? There's not a lot of guys like Vincent out there right now. Do you think?
I don't know. You know, I think that's a great question. I think people really do feel like to stand in their truth. And I hope that everybody does. Like, I think that's the only thing we get anything done is if everybody stands in their truths.
Why do we need to go through periods? Because it doesn't last forever, but sometimes it lasts up to, 10, 15, 20 years. Why do we, and it's not just this country, it's the entire world. We have to go through periods where we just hate everything and everyone. What causes that?
That's a great question. And I also think it's where you're looking. Like, it's funny how...
You mean like watching television?
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend it.
Watching the news, not a good idea.
I would never recommend it.
I understand that.
I'll pick and choose when I want to be inundated with somebody else's ideas. I think it's funny what stages your life. In my 20s, I did think hey, we have to have the good fight. We gotta whatever. Everything has to be. And now I'm in my late 30s, and it's like I'm fine. I don't need everyone to know my opinion all the time, always. I feel like I want to learn other people's. I don't feel the fight in me like I did in my 20s, and I think there's a reason we have our 20s to do that. Like
it's called brain development.
Exactly.
Right. No, it is.
And
absolutely.
you're constantly taking on more information. Like when you're in high school or your early 20s, everything that happens, well, this is the first war that I've been a part of. This is the worst thing ever. Yeah. And then you go, oh, wait, no, this is something that's been going on. So the older you get, you just are aware of more things going on. So every little thing that happens doesn't necessarily feel like the end of the world anymore.
Man, as a kid, it blows your mind when you find out about people being excluded for different things. And you just think, I'm going to be the generation that fixes this. I'm going to whatever. And it's beautiful. Like you have the starry-eyed concepts that you think that can push through, but it's also exhausting.
It's give up because it's never going to work.
Never going to work. And
that's the problem with it.
But yeah, I'm glad there's another generation that comes up and gets that fight in them. And I'm unfortunately, like, I don't always know where it's going to go, but it's like part of the age and development. We always look back and we think this is way more chaotic. Like every generation, I'm sure your older generation where you were listening to the Beatles were like, how dare you listen to that naughty music? Like there's always, the older generation always thinks the younger generation is more chaotic, more insane.
I suppose, but it has changed quite a bit because of social media.
Yeah.
Which I literally think they need to get rid of. It's destroying the world. Everybody knows what you're thinking now, whereas they didn't used to know that.
But I do think like the younger generation is using social media differently.
How?
I think that your generation has taken up social media and my generation as well, and feeling very obligated to tell everyone everything. And I think the younger generation doesn't feel that way. I feel like they use it sporadically and more of like a supplemental aspect of their life, not their whole life. I think the people who post the most right now are in their 40s and above, that they're posting. Why are you writing a whole paragraph about what you saw, what you feel, what you every day? Oh, it's this, Minneapolis is that, or this is this. And not even picking a side. But man, my 40-year-olds and my social feeds are unhinged.
Oh, yeah. The older generations definitely use social media, especially Facebook is the major one where this is my time to go on my rant about X, Y, Z.
See, I don't know that because I haven't been on it literally in 12 years.
You're doing the right thing.
I have no use for that at all.
I keep it so surface level. I'm not going to engage in anything. You're never going to catch me on Facebook going on and on about much. I mean, the most I'll talk about like actual things is I like to say my sober birthday. I always post about that, but not like you should get sober. It's like, hey, I'm celebrating, 13 years or whatever. Okay. And speaking of Linda, but like,
see, you've been packing the bottle here pretty heavy.
Linda, look at me.
Brittany,
I'm an example.
She just spends her whole day of like going through and finding people's pictures
Tagging
of them partying and being like, I remember when I used to drink. Like, you should be sober like me. Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is like, it seems really obvious now, but people do things like that. People, it's like on a crazy level. People will tell you what kind of dog you should and shouldn't have. People will tell you what kind of clothes you should and shouldn't wear. And I don't have that empowerment in me. And I definitely don't have that empowerment in me with like a Facebook friend. I mean, it's just not that deep. It's surface level.
Those are control issues.
Absolutely.
Somebody is doing so. They don't want you having pets anymore. They don't want you being happy anymore.
And projecting.
They really don't.
Yeah.
I got in trouble. Well, not in trouble, but somebody commented once because I posted this years ago. I had Fairlife chocolate milk, and it was like to my story. I love Fairlife chocolate milk.
Very hot take.
Good.
And it was because it's delicious.
Good follow if you're going to follow Tevin.
Well, no. And anyway, the like 2 seconds later, somebody messaged me. They treat their cows really terribly. You shouldn't be drinking that milk.
Oh, see, that's why I don't go on social. There you go.
But you had to write back. They didn't say good life. It said fair life.
Fair life. Yeah, it's an adequate life. These
just
cows
adequate life. Ooh, I like adequate life chocolate milk. That'd be good.
I randomly filmed like a really hyper Frenchie at the mall, and I was like, it was like a service dog, and I wrote something silly like, yeah, okay. and people came at me, you can't film a service dog. And it made me just laugh where I was like, it's still a dog at the end of the day. Like I wasn't, the person's not in it. It's just like a silly flash in the pan. And I just had to laugh where I was like, you're pretending to be offended right now that I filmed a dog in a mall. Like, you can't film a service. Okay.
You're being offended for a dog, homie. Let's relax.
Like, was a Frenchie that was very naughty, not behave. It wasn't like I was like, and all like, it just blows my mind what people take on. And that people were like, well, this person has a service dog in my life and you can't film. I was like, bitch, you don't think I have people in my life that have service dogs? Like, I was in the military. Like, it's just not that deep. No. I'm not going to pretend to now take this on for you, ma'am.
And when I started filming this Frenchie, it's not like it now walked its person into traffic. Like, everything is okay.
It was like half of like hallway down. And it was just so funny where I feel, and of course I could have deleted it, but I was like, I don't care. I don't care. It's just not that deep.
Well, I have a question for you because you said the younger people now don't use it the same way.
Correct.
What are they looking at? Because they're always looking at their phone.
They really like so the big thing is like Snapchat is huge when I hang out with teenagers and they look at social media, but they don't post, like they don't write a lot. They do a lot of pictures.
There's some people that I know that watch like Fox or CNN or a news station all day.
They do really?
Some people do.
It drives me nuts.
I mean, that's why there's 24-hour news channels.
Yeah, you're right.
This is how like I get mine. This is how I find out what's going on throughout the day. And so there's it seems like every hour something is happening. And also, like Brittany said, like that's how I communicate with my friends too. Like why
don't you call them?
You know, frankly, our conversations are just not. Some of the conversations are not as like important to where I feel like a call is warranted.
Correct.
You know?
Really? And that's something that I think a lot of people need to understand before you pick up the phone and call. Like, is this textable? Like, don't call just to ask a yes or no question. Like, you can text and get the same.
And I fall on both, maybe because I am a little bit older than you guys. Is that like I fall on both sides? If a 2-second or a 1-minute call can solve this back and forth via text, I want that call to happen. Like, I don't want to be texting all day over something. So it's like I fall on both sides where I go, if it's the other day, somebody called me and I found out that we were trying to schedule a call. In the end, they just wanted somebody's phone number. And I said, you could have just asked, I would have sent it to you, no problem. But we're scheduling a phone call for this. But at the same time, if it's a complex issue, I want to do the call. I don't want to text back and forth all day.
Right. Or I guess, or if we are on the phone, then unless we're best buds, we don't have to indulge in like the small talk. How's your day going? Tell me what you want and then get off my phone.
Really?
Yeah. I don't need to have some superficial conversation about my life or your life if I know that you're not really interested.
No, I understand that. It just amazes me though that all the people that are in the business of talking don't want to talk. That's very weird.
Maybe it's at the end of the day, but I love talking on the phone. I love figuring things out. And like, I'm a multitasker too. So like, sometimes you'll catch me on walks and stuff on the phone. But,
like when I call to like catch up with my grandma, I would love the conversation. I want the small talk. Tell me about the groceries that you got and how much snow did you get? But yeah, if it's like an objective call, if there's an end goal to your call rather than just like,
yes,
you know, hey, we should like, if it doesn't end with, hey, you know, we should catch up and grab dinner and then blah, blah, blah. If it's a, hey, you know, what time is this? Let's work around this, whatever. And plus, you know, the time that I want to talk maybe is not the perfect timing for somebody else to want to talk. Maybe they're in the middle of something, like Brittany might be feeding Go-Go or something. And so
if I don't answer your phone,
I think she's too nice if she saw my caller ID though.
If I
She's
saw
not
AJ,
that nice. Where did you get that idea?
If I saw AJ call and I was with Go-Go,
she totally ignored that.
I'm super
nice. She's on this path.
I'm waiting.
You're a disaster.
If I saw AJ call and I was with Go-Go, usually what I do is I text back saying, I'll call you when I get her down for a nap.
No, which is great.
Like, because then if somebody's calling me, I will call them back, like always, because if it warranted a call in their mind, then I answer.
It just seems to me that people who talk for a living would like to talk more than text.
When you call me, I answer.
That's once a year, though.
Yeah, but that once a year is the most glorious time of my life. I say,
glorious.
Shut up, everybody. Tom's on the horn.
No, I'm not criticizing anyone. When you live your life, that's the one thing I really wish that everybody would do.
Yeah.
Is why don't you let me live my life and you live your life? I won't criticize you. I can have questions about why would you rather text and talk. Doesn't mean I think you're an idiot for doing it. I'm just trying to find why would you? Because I would never do that.
Well, and there's a lot of people that won't answer their phones too if they know it's work related.
Yeah.
And it's oh, you're calling me at 7:00 at night. I will get to you when I'm at work.
And I think that's important. I think that's important to have those boundaries. Like I mean, it's rare anybody calls me after 6 or 7, but I think it's important to keep that in mind is that we have such blurred boundary lines and you have to have some areas to yourself. Like,
oh, I understand all of that. You don't have to answer your phone.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's the good part of it. If somebody calls, you don't want to talk to right now, you don't have to answer.
Or do you have friends or anybody that will call when they're bored?
No, I mean, that's not good.
Oh, I was just bored, so call see what you're doing. Well, I'm not bored.
You're bored, but I'm not.
As soon as my sister or my mom or I get in the car, we call one of each other.
You're my worst. You're the worst person.
But that's
worst enemy.
We talk every day, like almost every day. I talk to either my mom or my sister, and it's always because drive takes me 20 minutes, so it's like I could catch up. And God bless my sister because she works from home and answers all the time. And she's busy. Like she actually has a real job. So it's like, God bless her.
I'll give you an example because we got to go to break here. We're not running behind because it's not a solid deal. But I would hate texting Catherine. I have to once in a while, but I would much rather talk to her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, me and Justin have like a 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50.
Yeah,
mine's about a 95-5. I'd much rather talk to her than text her.
But you guys see each other a lot. You're around each other a lot. How often are you calling her?
Not that often.
No,
because we're all together.
Yeah,
that is good. And again, I ask these questions because from generation to generation, things do change.
I know that if I text you, unless I attach Catherine to it, which sometimes I do, like if it's so funny that I want you both to see it, I know I'm most likely not going to get a text back.
I hate texting.
But you'll read, I've seen you do this. You read it and you go, huh, and you set your phone down. So I don't take that offensive at all. And if I really need to get a hold of you, I call you because you always call me back.
Yeah. I mean, I like talking. I've been talking since I was about maybe 6 months old.
Don't you get burnt out because you do this 4 hours a day every day?
No, never. I could literally talk all day long, 24 hours a day.
I believe you.
I do. I love talking. Just you learn things. The other part of it is, I think the way I grew up, I need emotion in my communication. I can't have it just flat out letters. There's no emotion in that, and I don't like it.
Not the way I text.
Yeah, you put some emojis in there.
Oh God, that's even worse. Oh my God, I hate emojis.
Yeah, it's I sometimes get in my car after a long day of if I do on air stuff, and I don't turn the radio on. I sit in silence, and I don't want to call or talk to anyone.
Yep, I understand that.
I have a bandwidth, like I have a point of no return. But you don't seem like you ever have a point that you would stop.
No, I love this. Well, but yesterday a friend of mine had to. I don't want to talk about this on the show, but she had to go out of town to help her mother with something, and it was not appropriate for me to call her, so I texted her.
Yeah,
because I just wishing her well. I hope everything goes well.
Yeah.
Because she's busy.
There's a time.
And I do understand there's a time when you're busy, you don't want to call them, you want to text them. I understand that. And I got no problem with that at all. But it's just too emotionless for me. It's I'm a big emotion guy, I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose. We do have to take a break here, don't we? My God.
We do.
Hell of a conversation, though. I liked it. We'll be right back.
This is the Tom Barnard Show.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years. but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take Personal Care Dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. A little news, a little information. AJ's off to his next accomplishment. You know what happened yesterday? I saved this until he left.
What?
I was in a meeting, sales meeting over at Hubbard building.
Nice.
And I'm sitting there and we're in a conference room.
Yeah.
And then it's one of those that has those
glass windows.
Yeah,
it's like half a wall, half a window. So you
it's the curtains that they're little strips of wood or what I don't know. It's a blind or whatever the hell.
Yeah, like the plastic where you can see.
Yeah. So he walks by. And as he walks by, I give him the double finger.
Nice.
Right?
That's what he wants when everybody is his boss in that room.
He came back about 10 minutes later and said, I had no idea that was you.
Oh, funny.
He thought it was somebody else.
Some random guy.
Yes, I'm sure some random guy giving you the double, not just one finger, but the double finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, AJ, boy, they like him over in that building.
I know. Yeah, they use him a lot. He's running around like crazy there.
Well, he's a good guy. Andy, what's up?
Not a ton.
Same stuff.
Yep.
Every day.
Exactly.
Andy says he doesn't remember farting in Europe, but he believes you.
You don't remember farting behind that night?
No, I do not.
It was phenomenal. Well, you remember going over to the night, I bet.
I remember
armor.
the building and seeing all the relics and stuff.
Oh, you really don't remember going over and looking at that night?
Mm-mm.
Oh, God.
Yeah, specifically, no.
You were fascinated, which I can understand why you would be. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't understand this, and you guys are going to have to help me with this. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a first world problem for you. What do you do when you're catching up on the dishes, the dishwasher's full, and you still have more dishes in the sink? How often do you not do your dishes?
They back up at my house.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah.
If I'm cooking and I'm using multiple pots, multiple
Yeah,
pans,
that's true.
and stuff
But
like that.
you hand wash those or you put those in the dishwasher?
Everything goes in the dishwasher.
Everything goes in the dishwasher. I'll rinse and do with like the magic wand and do it like an initial scrub, but I still throw, depending on if it's dishwasher safe or not.
When anything takes up more than like a quarter of the drawer, I hand wash it because I get so annoyed with it taking up too much space.
Well, I mean, yeah, like we have certain pans that would take up the entire drawer.
Right.
But that would just be, we do it sometimes. It's like, oh, there's, all this space.
Yeah.
But usually we hand wash that sort of thing.
Yeah. And any leftover dishes, they sit in the sink until the dishwasher is done, and then I empty it and put the leftover ones now in there.
Really?
Hell yeah.
I hand wash a lot of stuff like Tom's talking about. Like especially because Gogo's just constantly dirtying like her favorite cups.
Oh,
I feel like I'm just constantly washing those. So I just want it all clean at once.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the first world problem for you. What do you do when you're catching up on the dishes? The dishwasher's full. You still have more dirty dishes in the sink. You could do them by hand, but that's way too much work. So the next best option is you buy a second dishwasher.
Oh yeah, that was actually going to be my answer.
That's not
ever.
Correct.
Oh, but my neighbor Priscilla, who I talk about constantly, she has the 2 different drawers.
That's kind of neat because
That's
then you
what I
can do
think,
just like half loads and stagger them and kind of always cleaning something.
It's pretty slick.
Or you go with just install a commercial
dishwasher.
with a big slide up and down ones.
Oh, those are so triggering if you worked in the restaurant industry.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yep. And they get done in like 20 minutes though, so that's nice.
That is nice.
Oh yeah.
So the best option is install a second dishwasher. It may sound ridiculous, but apparently more and more people are doing it. That would take up a lot of room in your kitchen.
Yeah, and also did Maytag write this?
Well,
really
good
Just trying
question.
to boost some sales.
I know. Oh, it's like, what kind of kitchen has enough room for 2 dishwashers? Or are you like putting another one in your like laundry room or something?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. A report asked people who do have 2 dishwashers why, and they say the benefits include having additional room to wash pots and pans, have a separate dishwasher for the kids' stuff, having a space to clean up after dinner without doing it in shifts, having an overflow space for uneven items, like when you have more cups than plates in one day and more plates and cups in another, and to always have one that's dedicated to cleaning dishes while the other one can be for collecting dirty ones.
Yeah.
And then a comment here is that last one is absurd. This would just end up being a confused mess.
Yeah.
With both dishwashers being clean, both being dirty, or no one remembering which was which, or putting the dirty in with the clean.
That is the most true thing I've ever heard is like all best intentions and then reality hits.
Yeah.
My husband even did this silly thing that like I had to laugh and just let him do it. He bought one of those magnets that says dirty or clean.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, who's going to be flipping that? Like, I'm not going to be
we
like,
have one and we stopped using it almost immediately.
almost immediately, but I let him because I was like, I remember when like my mom bought one of these and we're like, don't believe the magnet. It means nothing in this house.
Exactly.
Well, mine, at least when after it runs, it has a little light that says clean
nice.
On it. So I'll at least be able to know that. But if you open it and take one dish out and shut it, it'll go away.
Oh,
but it at least helps a little bit.
At least there's accountability. Like,
Right.
I know that you did that.
And when in doubt, I always just run it again.
Whoa, that is aggressive.
Now, I have a question. When did you start writing articles and sending them into Wise Brother?
Well, this is my first one because I've got a side hustle. Yeah, I've got a side hustle as a dishwasher salesman.
Okay.
So I'm trying to boost some sales.
So you've only sent this one story, and that's been it so far.
Yeah. Why'd you find another one that I may or may not?
No. I think this is the one the one you sent in. Men think women should be allowed to go topless in public.
If you want to free the nip, I'm not going to tell you to put it away.
Girl, same.
I know, my favorite is guys online being like, "Oh yeah, I totally support women's liberation. It's equality." It's like, yeah, okay. You want to see topless women? Just be honest.
My anecdotal thing about this, what changed my mind, what revolutionized me to free the nip all day, every day, is
free the nip.
I was driving over on 50th over in Minneapolis, and I saw this bigger woman biking shirtless, and I said, no. I was like, you know what? At first I was like, whoa. And then I was like, you know what? Good for her. I'm glad she can do that. I can't, because of just like my own body stuff in my mind, can't do that. And I was like, good for her. Like, get out there. Why not? And I got closer. I realized it was a man. And that's when I realized.
But he did have titties.
Oh, big old ones.
Big old biggies.
Big old biggies. And that's what I realized. What's the freaking difference?
What's the difference? And also,
there is no difference.
No.
You're right.
And it's
You're
like nude beaches. Like, everybody in their mind, they think we're going to free the nip and it's just going to be these supermodels walking around and everybody's going to look great.
No,
nope. You're going to get
old people.
But-
and
it's also very conservative vibe. Like nobody's like swinging them around. It's usually they're laying there. You know what I mean? Like it's a chill environment. Like if you go to a nudist beach, you're like, you wouldn't be able to notice right away people are nude because it's not like, woo!
Yeah, it's not like a party where everybody's drinking and stuff out of the beach. And also with girls, I would assume if you're going for a run, probably still going to wear a sports bra because it's probably uncomfortable to have them just jiggling all over the place.
Listen, I need compression everything. Like I should have compression mouth guards. I should have my skin and body, all of it moves when I run. So it's like the last thing I want is that. But like if somebody else wants to do it, get it.
See, I'm the opposite. I think men should have to wear tops everywhere. I don't want to see that.
There are men in my life. Wow, there was an ex of a very close family member who, man, the minute he would start moving and grooving, would remove his shirt.
I know. It's like I don't know.
He'd be like, hey, can you hand me my coffee cup? Yeah. Shirt is off. Like the minute any labor comes in, this guy had his shirt off.
Why would he do that?
Because he loved himself.
No, unless I'm going for a long run outside in the summer, there's no reason to be exercising with your shirt off.
Does that feel so good to just run in shorts?
Yes, it feels amazing.
Yeah.
I would never.
I don't think you would run. Andy.
I'm actually a good runner.
Are you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you were a big runner.
I was the fastest kid in my high school class.
Do you run now?
Not for a long time. The whole, decay of time
Yeah.
Okay, we got 4 votes. I'll vote first.
Okay.
The biggest difference for me is women have much better looking nipples than men.
Yeah.
They just okay. So you agree with that?
I agree, but I will tell you what, mine do not aim the same way. That's problematic. After breastfeeding, it's like I got one that's amazing, and I got the other one that's like a broken headlight that's like shooting out a window of a house.
Nice.
That's the stitch I'm dealing with, which is fine. I don't mind. It reminds me of my
chameleon eyes. You gotta.
Thank you.
You
never know where they're looking.
What if you got 2 babies? There you go.
Exactly.
You gotta aim in 2 different directions.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the deal. So even when men's breasts are as big as women's, not good nipples.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that because if we did free the nip in Minnesota, then you deal with also all of the, what are you looking at? Come with it.
Yeah.
And then you have the awkwardness of like trying to just get used to seeing just nipples everywhere.
I don't think it would be.
It wouldn't be nipples everywhere. But
and I think technically you can by law be topless in Minnesota or Minneapolis.
There are actually many, many places in America where women can go topless, but they choose not to.
Yeah. So I don't think it's like
That's
if all of
the
a
thing.
sudden it was like green lighted completely free the nip, I think our lives would probably be exactly the same.
Probably.
Yep, exactly.
Someone polled people to see where we're at on the topic of being topless.
Mm-hmm.
In 2023, 35% of Americans now think women should have the right to let it all hang out. 51% said no, and 14% are undecided. Stats on who thinks it should be allowed are interesting too. Men are much more in favor of it than women. Almost half of guys think it should be allowed.
Told you.
What?
You said men are more into it than women.
Well, they are.
I was right.
Almost half the guys think it should be allowed, but only 37% of women under 45 agree, and just 15% of women older than that support it. The demographic that's most in favor of women going topless would be old men.
Not surprised in the slightest.
Yeah,
no, I suppose that's true.
Old men are like, I like hanging with old men, especially when they're at a point where they realize they're past the point of there's a chance with you. Like they're just
right.
They're like got perspective.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably like, I don't care if women want to run around topless, whatever.
That's the main thing. If you want to go take your shirt off and tan at the beach, like I don't care. Like I'm not going to grab my binoculars now and go hang out at the beach anywhere. Like just live your life and don't do nothing to nobody.
It is funny when it's like supposed to be like a surprise. Like you guys don't know there's boobs under here. Like I've been, you know what I mean? Like we're pretending that like if I all of a sudden, what? Those have been under there the whole time. Like you have an idea of what my body looks like. It's not that crazy if all of a sudden this layer is just gone. So it is like a mind game where you're like, yeah, those are boobs. You can also see them on the internet or like in most places, maybe hopefully in person at some point you get to touch them. I don't know. Like it's not that big a deal. And after like breastfeeding in the weirdest places, I just don't care. Like, really, if I was just sitting here naked, I'd be like, whatever.
No, I agree. Who cares?
Who cares?
It's true. Tipping fatigue.
Oh,
you will tip at least 5 people this week. What do they mean by? I have not clicked on the story.
Won't. 5 people
in a week?
Once a month, maybe. How often do you go to restaurants? Jeez.
I do tip a lot, actually.
You go out to restaurants.
Oh, but do you eat at a restaurant 5 days a week?
Probably lunch and dinner. Like last night, I had a client out, Josh Darnold, and tonight, Michael Bryant. So it'll be 2 nights in a row, and I'll obviously tip both of those nights. I don't know. I'd have to think about this, but what do they mean by tipping fatigue? Why fatigue?
Because right now, whether you go to, you go to a gas station,
every point of sale machine,
they always have the machines where, like, even if you go Subway and just get a quick sandwich, they'll have the option to add a tip, or
really?
Literally anytime you insert a chip.
I saw a video the other day, Tom. You would love this. It was somebody at an airport kiosk. There was no workers. It's like you can just walk up, scan it, and you pay yourself. And the one question they asked at the end was tip ? To nobody. Like there was nobody in this automated kiosk, and they still asked for a tip.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they know that if you put just the option to leave a tip, that a certain percentage of the time people will just hit it just because they feel like they're supposed to.
Or like muscle memory almost.
Yeah. But who are you tipping?
Nobody at that point.
Nobody. Well, who gets the money?
Probably the owner of the company or the store.
Just the owner of the company for doing nothing gets a tip?
It's wild too, because I feel like it's a negative too, because like if I'm picking something up, do I tip? Is the pickup? Do you tip at pickup? Like if I ordered food.
Yeah, I used to, and now I usually don't, because they're not really doing anything extra.
Yeah.
I'm coming and getting the food.
Yeah.
So
I only do it if it's a place where I normally go in and sit down.
Yeah.
So I go to Ray J's all the time in Northeast. And sometimes if I sit down at the bar and I'm, having my wings, I'll obviously tip then. And then if I order a to-go order, just because I know the bartender, I'll still leave.
That makes sense.
It does. We shall take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Kristyn Burtt will join us right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombarnardshow.com.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. Get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so we made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
Tom Barnard is back. Every weekday, you'll hear Tommy B, Brittany Arneson. Yes, that Brittany Arneson. Along with Tom's pals Kent Herbeck on Fridays, Bob Sansevier, Mike Stretch Gelfand, Tim Lammers, and from Channel 5 Eyewitness News, Chris Egert and Kristyn Burtt on entertainment and pop culture. It's Tom and the crew with opinions on news, opinions on life, opinions on entertainment, and of course, opinions on other people's stupid opinions. The Tom Barnard Show is a podcast, so you can listen when you want to listen. In the car, on the way to or from work, at home, on the job site, or wherever you need your Tommy B Show fix. Hear the show on the Tom Barnard Show app in your app store, as a podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts, or see it on YouTube on the Tom Barnard Show channel. The Tom Barnard Show is proud to have partners like North American Banking Company, Bradshaw and Bryant, and attorney and advertiser Dave Bielke.
I've been advertising on Tom Barnard shows for years. I like Tom, not just because he's a good guy, but because the ads I run on his show bring me new clients that are hurt at work and need legal help. Tommy B works for me.
If you'd like to find out more about growing your business with the Tom Barnard Show, go to tombarnardshow.com, keyword partner.
Well, aren't you the golden girl?
I'm feeling so much better.
Got the gold hair, you got the gold shirt.
And I'm officially COVID free. I just took a test.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
Thank you. Passed the test. Love it.
About 3 days, 4 days you had it?
I would say it was probably a solid week. Like I started feeling a little bit lousy Wednesday night. But I took a test Friday. So that was when.
Excellent. So you're good. You're out of it and everything's moving.
I'm out of quarantine and I'm going to go and enjoy the California sunshine today.
Good plan.
It is a good plan.
What's the latest, sister?
You know, I don't know if you guys are following all the drama in Las Vegas with F1 this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But they are really desperate to get people in the stands because they thought that this was going to be a sellout well before. They're actually casting people to look like really hot F1 fans. And
What's
the job
F1?
is paying anywhere between $500 and $3,000.
Huh. F1 is Formula One.
Formula
right?
One.
Formula One.
Auto racing?
It's European NASCAR, basically.
The open wheel racing, and they will shut down like cities. So like Monaco is, for example, a big one, and they race through. So people be like from their apartment watching cars go around the track.
And Vegas is pissed about it. Like the people that are in Vegas, because a thing that they did is you know how their walkways in Vegas is the glass you can see out.
Yep.
They made that. They did like the darkened window on it so nobody gets like a free view or free sight. And they had to do that in hotel rooms as well. And Vegas is like people are rebelling, like peeling that off. And
I would.
I know, as they should. It's kind of like a Go Vegas Go vibe.
Yeah, I rented the place. I'll watch what I want to watch.
And they're not letting you. And anyone who knows the Bellagio, of course, the fountains, like that was all been covered over with stands temporarily, of course. But the construction has taken so many weeks that it's created massive traffic problems on the Strip. And they knocked down, like in front of the Bellagio, if you ever walked in that walkway in front of all the fountains, all those trees are gone, completely gone. They cut them all down so that they could build the stands over them.
The prices, because the prices for the tickets have now plummeted from what I've been seeing. Because originally, when they announced it, I mean, tickets were like $20,000 for certain packages and things like that. Like if you weren't rich, you're not going to this. And now they've come down where you can get it for like $800, but it's still very expensive.
Did they overestimate our love of Formula or America's love of Formula One? Oh, they did.
America doesn't care about
especially
Formula
for
One.
Vegas too, where it's just the town didn't really want it. And it's interesting. It's really interesting times too, because we just got the news that the Sphere, which obviously is their new entertainment venue, first quarter, it's already like $100 million like in the hole. And there's a lot of controversy around that. So you have like these two big events and F1's hoping to be there every single year with this race. And you have a lot of the locals just saying it's not worth it. We're not making the money back for these crazy, huge, either technology venues or, you know, shutting down the Strip for sporting events. But I'll tell you, Netflix is going to be there all weekend because, you know, they've done really well with their docuseries with F1. So they'll be filming. Celebrities will be coming in and we'll see how this plays out. But so far, it's been a complete disaster.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the feel of like when they're in Miami and you can pull your yachts up to the side and it feels more elegant. Vegas is more known as kind of an affordable vacation destination. So to have a marquee event like this, it doesn't really fit the vibe of Vegas of, you know, we can go there for cheap and now we got to pay $20,000 to get into this thing.
Right. No one was rolling up to the yachts and like putting up like windows where you can't see out and say, sorry, you got to buy a ticket. So I think that, you know, really that inclusive type of attitude really turned a lot of people off. And I mean, even Sports Illustrated, they have a big celebrity suite. And if you want to go and spend your weekend in the Sports Illustrated celebrity suite, $7,000.
Yeah.
7,000. I mean, it gets you like, maybe you'll get to see Shaq and you'll get to see David Beckham and Dax Shepard. I mean, that's kind of random. And you get, a couple of nice meals, but you're not really getting anything special out of it.
So where do they race in Vegas?
On the Strip.
Why do they let them do that?
Because that is F1. I mean, and I guess like the loop that they created, they're calling it a flying pig. So, because that's the shape it's in. And because, of course, you want to broadcast the show in time so that Europe can watch it, they have to start at 10 p.m. Does anybody understand what the desert is like in the winter? It is cold. So it'll be the coldest race. Not ideal racing conditions, obviously, with tires and things like that. And this is expected to be kind of a mess. And nobody thought to check on the weather. Like, why would we be doing this in late November?
It's so weird, though, that's the Strip's the only way to get around in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the brand. Have you ever watched the Netflix Drive to Survive series? Yes. I mean, that's what they roll into town and they shut it down and they repave the roads and everything to make it all work for their cars.
I'd hate it.
I heard too that like right now hotel prices there have plummeted as well because people don't want to be around it. So if you want a cheap hotel, go to Vegas.
Yeah, they're back down to the 200s. Initially, they were selling anywhere like a standard room. I'm not talking about a really nice suite. A standard room originally was selling like $800 to $1,000 for one night. And they're now down to like the normal like $200.
So do we have anything that's like F1 in America?
Closest thing would be IndyCar, apparently.
Indy, okay.
That's what Mike from Blaine says. Because it's open wheel, higher speed. I guess that's
but as far as popularity, we would be more NASCAR.
Absolutely.
NASCAR. I've never understood wanting to watch cars drive around in a circle. Who cares?
Formula One isn't a circle. That's like
a pig.
It's a street.
It's a flying pig, everyone.
Flying pig.
And Formula One's got a lot more turns and twists and that sort of thing. So it's, more.
Yeah, there's 17 turns on this particular course.
Yeah. So it's in that regard, it is definitely more interesting. But it's still watching cars go around the same course 50 times in a row,
and watching the live race is definitely boring. And they're not very long. I feel like the average race is probably an hour and a half-ish long because I think it's only like 50 laps. But if you watch the Netflix series where they condense it into a 3-minute quick view and you get all the drama that's associated with it, it's 10 out of 10.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
But the actual race is like, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, and that's what Netflix does really well. They're bringing all of their full swing cast of characters too from Pro Golf this weekend to F1 because this is what Netflix is doubling down on. Their sports documentary series are doing really well. And so they're having their F1 drivers meet up with their, pro golfers and merge the two shows. And I'm sure we'll see footage at some point going on in the docuseries, probably a crossover, I would imagine.
I've never seen a car race. I just realized that.
I haven't either.
I've never even
actually
seen.
You know what? I'm going to say this, even though I'm not a fan, but when I used to host a show for Toyota, they would send us to a lot of the NASCAR races for Toyota Racing. And the atmosphere, while not like my way to spend a weekend when I would have to go there for work, it was fun. The community, there's a big sense of community there. I think that's why a lot of people will go with like their RVs and travel from NASCAR race to NASCAR race, just like the drivers do. And for people, they're just really passionate about it. So, I mean, I think you could do it like once in your life and be like, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's an example of what I do. I've been to one race in the past probably 20 years, and it was a puppy race at Canterbury Downs.
Oh,
so there you go. That's the kind of racing I like.
I'd like to go see like the Kitten Bowl or like the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're talking. One thing I love about dog races, certain breeds do this more than others, but they let them loose and they run. About half of them just stop and turn around and go back.
Oh, do you know I'm obsessed with? It's that same concept they have, Tom. They have it at a lot of NBA games. They do baby races.
Oh, they do?
So it's these babies crawling, and one parent is on one side and one parent is on the other. And some of them have like keys they're shaking, or cell phones, they're trying to show. And they try to like get the baby to crawl, and they'll like stop and play with each other. And like everyone's like, oh no,
Love it.
now Maria is stuck. She's decided to look in her diaper while Henry passes her up. Like it's so enthralling.
They do it on the Disney cruises too, for obviously the babies that are there, which I think would be really fun to watch. I would, if I was on a Disney cruise, I'd be running to the baby crawl race.
No, there was a viral clip from years ago. Paul Allen, who's the Vikings play-by-play announcer, he does the corgi races at Canterbury Park.
Oh my god!
And so he has one where he's like doing a professional, like, and Fancy Bottoms takes the lead, and here comes Spot. Like, it's great.
That's so cute. Fancy Bottom.
Yeah, so another question I have about Formula One in Vegas is they must not be able to go very fast, because aren't those roads all curved and they're not very long? So how fast can they go?
It's mostly straightaways. I saw the course, and I'd say it's probably 70% straightaway.
So how fast can they go in a city, though? I mean, they can't go there full throttle, I wouldn't
I would
think.
assume they can still probably get pretty close to 200.
Really?
Apparently, Formula One, they're not allowed to go above 220.
Oh, good.
220.
And it'll probably be a little slower too, because of the
It would
cold.
be a bit slower, I would say, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, Britt, Lisa Vanderpump is hosting a brunch. So
at the Paris?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Oh my God, my life is getting lamer by the minute.
I know. First Formula One. I had an ex that was super into Formula One.
Oh yeah.
It was so annoying because he'd wake up at like 3 a.m. to watch it. He's like, God, I was like, just fine. They go in a circle. Can you just look at the numbers later? Like he'd wake up at all hours because it was all around the world. And I would just be like hearing.
And it looks like 147 miles an hour is the average speed.
Jesus.
That they anticipate.
Go pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's moving.
Big deal. The Stang gets that fast.
Oh, it definitely does. There's no doubt about that. That thing. Well, I told you before they throttled them back, they could go 200 miles an hour.
That's wild.
Which I wouldn't have done, but that's just me.
I know. I always blows my mind when people are like, "This car can go to 2." It's like, but where are you going to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Where are you going to be pulling those numbers out?
Well, the automotive industry always is like, this is like 220 pound-feet of torque. And you're like, woo.
Don't have any frame of reference.
I'm like, I live in LA. Have you seen my freeway? I am lucky if I get above 17 miles per hour in my Prius.
We have Tire Carver on the phone with a little bit of F1 knowledge.
Oh, I love it.
Tire would know.
Mm-hmm.
Their expected top speed at Vegas is going to be about 210 to 215 miles an hour.
Holy buckets.
God.
Oh, I'd hate if I had a significant other in that. I would be.
I know.
It's so scary. Oh my God.
Oh, you lose control for a tenth of a second.
It's over. And, well, and a lot of those drivers are like 18, 19, 20, 21 years old.
Well, you have to have the reaction timing has to be spot on. So
if you had a son or a daughter in that, I would be just a wreck.
Well, I think it was 3 years ago, maybe Carver, a little bit better. There was a driver in the lower tier of F1 that died in a race.
Ooh.
And so and everybody knew him, so everybody's sad. And then they were took a 15-minute break, and they're like, all right, everybody back in your cars and let's go.
Well, I'm looking at a list of Formula One fatalities, and they used to be pretty common, couple a year, but actually these days, most recent one was 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say it was about 4 or 5 years ago, and I don't remember the driver's name.
David Ferrer. Or Ferrer, maybe.
Yeah.
He was French.
Wasn't the one I was thinking of, but there's the reason they now have, instead of just like a windscreen, they have what they call the halo with the bar that comes up in front of the driver, and there's a bar that's over your head because he lost it in the rain and went underneath a crane.
Oh.
And yeah, it wasn't good.
Are you talking about Jules Bianchi?
I think that was him. Yeah.
That was 9 years ago now.
Wow.
Yep.
Are you looking forward to the Vegas race?
I'll watch it eventually. Vegas or not Vegas, but Formula One doesn't really do much for me because they're so spread out. And it's like, for 7 to 10 years, it was Mercedes that dominated because they just had the best car. And the last couple of years, last 3 years, it's been Red Bull that's had the car to beat. And, yes, they're great drivers, but if you don't have the car underneath you, you're not going to be, up front.
Yeah, I would
I'd rather
imagine.
have cars that be a little more equal and have it come down to drivers and how things are raced instead of, I'd be, absolutely sucking wind and have my car make up for it.
There you go. Well, thank you. Say hello to the family for me, will you, Tire?
Will do.
Thanks, Pally.
Yep.
Bye, Tire Carver, ladies and gentlemen. That's no, leave that on. Leave your jacket on because we've got to bring you up on screen.
What?
I just think that you and Kristyn have been on the phone together because you're dressed exactly the same.
Okay, I don't know about that. You're wearing your photosynthesis shirt too, Kristyn?
My yellow Target sweater from the kids section.
From the kids.
There are so many things that
I do. I buy the kids section all the time because it's like $25 cheaper and it's still my size if I get like the extra large. So
yeah, my girlfriend has very small feet, so she always gets her shoes from kids.
You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that with kids' shoes. It doesn't have the same support.
Well, it's costs her a hell of a lot less to buy her Dunks and Jordans, so she'll sacrifice the support.
Yeah, I guess like Dunks and Jordan, you're not looking for arch support.
You don't really care.
Right.
It's more about the look.
The look.
The look.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
She's trying to hop on. She'll be hopping on. So, Kristyn, moving on from Formula One, where we find out they're going to be doing over 220 miles an hour, which is insane, but such is life. What else is happening?
Kind of everything. It's been a really interesting week for us in Hollywood just because, the strike is over and you would think like the burden is on the actors to get back to set. But what's actually happening is the burden is on us, entertainment reporters, publicists, TV hosts right now, because everyone's trying to get an interview with anybody to promote whatever's coming out for the next 6 weeks, whether it's TV shows, movies, because that promotion, as we just saw with Marvels, if you didn't have, any type of promotional campaign behind it, it's going to tank at the box office. So I am literally like every afternoon, I'm doing back-to-back interviews, sometimes like 2, 3, 4 in a row. We have got our studio like up and running at my house just to like keep up with the pace. And on top of it, it's, Hallmark movie season. So everyone everyone in the world is in a Hallmark movie right now. So it's kind of interesting trying to field all these requests. And what people don't also realize is that we're also running up against the holiday. Most news outlets are going to shut down and only have a small staff as of like Tuesday night. So we've got that to run up against. And then once we get back after the Thanksgiving holiday, Hollywood only runs until about December 15th. And then there's a shutdown for 2 weeks for Christmas and the New Year. So I was like, okay, so I know what my last, few weeks of work this year are going to look like. They're going to be absolutely slammed. And that momentum's going to carry into January because we run into every single award show, things that were canceled or rescheduled, plus the normal load. So it's going to be a massively chaotic start to the 2024.
No, I suppose that's true. Do they have any idea how long it's going to take to catch up?
It's probably going to take a year to a year and a half for everything to catch up. And if you think about this, they're canceling some shows now. They're delaying shows. They're pushing movies back on the schedule because of reshoots, or they can't get all the actors together because they have to align people's calendar. And if you have someone who works as actively in film and on TV, you have to find out like what's in their first position. Do they have to finish Stranger Things first before we can get this movie rolling or things like that? So it's really becoming like putting together a big puzzle. And I know all of my friends who represent actors, whether they're managers or agents, say it is going to be a mess for quite a while. And some of our favorite shows that we're just waiting for the next season, it could be as late as 2025.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, a year and a half. You're right.
Yeah.
Alex, by the way, unfortunately, your jacket is not lighting up as brightly as Kristyn's. I don't know why not.
Well, yours is more of like a goldenrod. Yeah. And mine is like a highlighter.
There we go. Oh, yeah.
Yellow.
There. Brittany's got it. Got you good better lighting.
Shine.
You got you better light.
There you go.
Highlighter.
You got better lighting.
Yeah.
I'm glad to
So
hear
it's,
that.
I mean, we're both in the yellow family. So exactly the same.
Yeah.
On Wednesdays, we wear yellow.
Yeah.
What the hell? I hate being excluded.
Oh,
I know, it's so rude. We totally Regina Georged you.
That was painful.
I know, I'm sorry.
Kristyn, are there any shows that we're going to lose completely? Like,
I was going to say, I'm like tennis ball colored. Sorry.
we always have like 5 conversations going on throughout this show now. I don't know why that is, but we do. Explain that to me. Why are you looking at a tennis ball?
I'm hiding.
Why are you
Because you got scolded by your dad on the show.
Believe me, it happens all
It blends
4
into
hours.
my jacket.
It
You
does.
can't see me.
It does. It blends right in. It's good. Anyway, are there going to be some things that are going to disappear now that we really loved and wanted to come back, but people went, no, you know what? I'm not going to take another year and a half to do this.
I mean, we've already seen some cancellations that are like right off the bat, like rookie feds. They're like, we're just not going to bring this back.
Yeah.
We saw some measured cancellations throughout the strike, but I think we may have some situations, and you know who's famous for doing this is Netflix going, we're back, we're super excited, and then they're like, nah, that kind of thing. We're seeing some movie distributors going, you know what, we don't want to distribute this movie, we're going to take the tax write-off. I know that they're doing that with Wile E. Coyote, and there was such an uproar between the cast and the crew, and they're like, you're going to take a tax write-off on this. They got so furious that they finally let them go to the open market. And I wouldn't be surprised because, you know, John Cena's doing one of the voices. I just wouldn't be surprised if it turns up on Amazon or Netflix. But what's happening is the studios are looking at the budget going, 70 million. Okay, well, I don't think we're going to make our money back at the theaters anymore. It's better for us to take the tax write-off. But I think if you look at something like Amazon has the ability, and this is kind of genius, you know, Amazon has the ability to like buy the movie, put it up on Amazon Prime, and then below it, put all of the cross promotion of like t-shirts, soundtracks, books, old, you know, collections of Looney Tunes that they can sell and make some of that money back. And I'll tell you who else is doing that. And this is kind of crazy, but QVC has a holiday film coming out, and QVC, the Home Shopping Network, is doing a scripted movie based around the holidays starring Ashley Simpson, but all of the stuff in like the room, what they're wearing, all comes from QVC, and you can buy what Ashley Simpson's wearing. You can buy her couch. You can buy the candle. You can buy the food that she's serving at her table throughout the movie.
That's insane. And for people that aren't in the know like myself, what do you mean when the studio is going to take a tax write-off? Like they just get to say, hey, sorry, we messed up and get our money back in taxes?
They're just going to shelve the movie completely, not to be seen in public. And because the uproar was so good, and this happened with Batgirl. I don't know if anyone remembers, it happened about maybe a year and a half ago. We'll never see that movie. That movie's not going to see the light of day because Warner Brothers is like, we're just going to take the tax write-off. We just don't think we're going to make our money back. We don't love it. And for them to just get that money back on their tax returns.
Because there's still a lot of steps that have to happen. The marketing budget, putting that out. There's a lot of steps from creation to then the like getting out in the world. So it's kind of like they're taking whatever write-off they can, which they've been able to write off some of that stuff anyways, but they're not going to take more of a loss by putting it to the market.
By adding another, let's say, $30 to $40 million to the budget. And you think things that you totally forget about, but like stylists for the actors while they do the promotional tour, makeup, hair. And then if you're doing an international press junket, which happens a lot, like you do one in the US, you stop in London, maybe you stop in Australia. Now you're on a global tour with a couple A-list actors, their entire style team. It gets very expensive very quickly. And you're not putting them up, at the Hampton Inn. You're putting them up at the Four Seasons, the Ritz-Carlton. As you can see, it adds up quickly.
So it's yet another thing the taxpayers have to pick up the tab for. That's just great.
Isn't that nice?
Jesus. You and I are going to end up paying that money.
We pay for everything, don't we?
We pay for everything. There's no question about that. How big a tax rate? They don't get the whole amount, I wouldn't think, do they?
I mean, the movie costs, like, if they were able to successfully do the Wile E. Coyote movie, it would have been $70 million. So I'm not an accountant. I don't know what percentage they would get, maybe 25% of that write-off, I'm going to guess, that they would have been able to do. But it would have been cheaper than, as Britt was just saying, like moving forward with the marketing costs and everything else.
But California's got some pretty high state taxes too, so they get a nice chunk of that too, I would imagine.
Yeah, you're going to get some state taxes back. And that's the other interesting thing, did they get some of the tax incentives? Because what state was it made in? So then are they getting double sort of tax back? You know what I'm saying? Because they're getting tax money back for making the movie in a certain state, and then they take it on their tax returns. I'm like, that is definitely taking advantage of tax law.
Yeah, and like I said, the tax have to be paid. Well, right now, what somebody told me yesterday, the price we're paying for just the interest on America's debt right now, just the interest is paid for by the taxpayers. 40% of that money is going to cover that loss.
I don't even know really what that means.
That we are so deeply in debt, I don't know if we'll ever get out.
Like it's too much for my brain to fathom. So I go, I don't even want to ever hear about any of this ever. Like
but they'll make it worse if we don't complain about
when
it.
we get into that, like we're trillions of dollars in debt. What does that mean?
What does that mean? I don't have any debt right now, but I guess I have trillions of dollars of debt. And then you just go, all right, let's go to Cancun for the spring break. I don't care. Let's just money with money. Bye. Like,
well, wars aren't cheap either, by the way. This thing in the Ukraine and now the thing over in the Middle East, it's very expensive.
I wish that you would say that, hey, teaching our youth and healthcare isn't cheap. But no, you're right. Wars aren't cheap.
They certainly are not. There's no question about it. But I guess if you're the United States, you have to get involved in everything.
Yeah, but you, Tom, you should have seen the cities of stuff we left behind. Because I was there at the withdrawal. And so we were pulling as much things out as we could. We left vehicles. I mean, things as simple as
warehouses full of
street
weapons.
Lights. Imagine street lights that we built, these cities we built in Iraq that were in these bases.
Yep.
We put if we would have take all that money and said, hey, let's put that into like a small town in Minnesota. We could have had we would have made another Minneapolis. But instead we have all these we just left it all because you just left Jeeps and Humvees and all. I mean, the things we left behind were wild.
Why did we pull out of Afghanistan?
Well, we had a certain time frame that we agreed to with them.
Yeah, we always do.
And then we thought it was going to be extended. Again, I'm paraphrasing this because I was just like a sergeant in the military. I don't really know but we thought it was going to get extended. And of course, they were like, no, we're done, knowing that we're going to leave behind so much resources. I mean, it's all. And I love if we have a listener who would know more. I'm sure mine is a very broad take on it, but that's what the kind of the feeling we had. And I was there during the time they said, okay, guys can't come over the border anymore on these under these situations.
What happens with do the resources that we leave behind benefit anyone in Afghanistan or?
Well, that's how the Taliban was originally made was resources left behind and people of power.
So we're not making sure that it goes into good hands.
I don't know. I can't pretend, again, being a sergeant and a medical sergeant in a convoy, I am such a small cog in the machine, but you can't, there's so much stuff and so many resources and so many things. It would be like a full-time army that would have to distribute that in let's make sure certain people get this. So a lot of it is just left up to people who are more powerful or whatever. And it's usually these places are not exactly known for their
structure.
I was going to say ability to spread the wealth or take care of each other at the time. But again, I'm paraphrasing so badly. I'm almost embarrassed because I know it's a more complex issue than that. But that's at least what I saw was absolute beautiful vehicles, towns, cities all left behind that, in 2011 or 2012 when we left, we got out of Iraq.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Afghanistan, we got out, 2 years ago?
Yeah, that one feels so recent because I had friends in Afghanistan. It feels like not that long ago, but Iraq was I want to say 2012 or 2011. I can't remember. Yeah, it's been a while.
So do you have any cash on you? Send it in.
Please.
That's all we have to say.
Need to go.
All right, we got about, oh my God, we only got about 2 minutes left. Anything you want to use to wrap up with, sister?
Yeah, like let's talk a little bit about, has anyone seen the Inside Out 2 trailer yet?
Yeah, we did watch it yesterday.
What? I didn't even know
You
haven't. What? Red alert. Red alert.
I told
What?
Melissa about a week ago, and she had no idea either.
We all went and saw it together.
Yeah. I didn't even know that this was happening.
Yeah, so it's happening. It'll be out in 2024, but a little interesting thing, you'll notice Mindy Kaling's not in it, Bill Hader's not in it.
Oh.
And we found out why. That is because Disney offered Amy Poehler, she got $5 million to return plus bonuses and things like that. But they only offered all of the other surrounding characters $100,000. That's it. No bonuses.
Hey, what?
And Mindy and Bill Hader said, thanks, but no thanks.
Hey, if anyone wants to pay me $100,000 to record 20 minutes of dialogue, hit me up.
But remember, they're coming back for a sequel. Disney made a lot of money off of them the first time around.
I mean, it's scummy of them to do, but it's still
a low amount of money.
Andy, what mood would you be?
Apathy.
I was going to say apathy.
There you go.
I was going to say that.
Do you remember it was me, you, was Fawn there? Did we just do
No,
grown
it was
up?
pre-Fawn, I think.
Pre-Fawn. We all went and
was a
saw
long time
Inside Out together. You were there. Catherine was there. Do you remember that?
No.
Brittany and I laughed. We cried.
And I halfway through, I go, is that Amy Poehler? And Alex was like, yeah, idiot. Like,
it sounds like you guys need another field trip for the sequel.
1,000%.
So fun.
Absolutely.
Good plan.
Oh yeah, it's Melissa loves that movie too.
Oh my
so
gosh,
she'd
it's
totally
such
be up for it.
Everybody always is like,
Yeah,
you're
they-
like a real life version of Joy.
Yeah,
You're just
you are.
like so excited and bouncing around and like
Well,
not
they've
aware of-
announced 4 new emotions for this new movie because it's about puberty, of course.
Well, yeah, because she was like
She was
just-
about
she was
to
like
hit puberty. Yeah.
prepubescent.
So now it's about
the
all the
first
new emotions that come with puberty.
Oh,
And she's moved to a new city too.
Oh, she's not in Minneapolis anymore.
She wasn't. She moved from Minneapolis to LA or San Francisco or whatever.
Oh yeah. And then she tried to go back to.
Yeah, she tried to go back
Spoiler
to
alert.
Minnesota. Yeah,
I wrote to Alex, anxiety gets added, which is like
it is true.
so exciting.
It's anxiety, embarrassment, ennui, and envy.
Ennui.
Ennui.
It's so
Wow.
fancy.
It's all right.
There you have it. I'm about to make a statement that 99.9% of people are going to disagree. I tried my best. I got through 2 seasons of it. I think Barry is one of the most unfunny shows I have ever seen.
Who is Barry?
I think that show's terrible.
You were loving it. What happened?
I don't know. It just the same thing over and over and over again.
I'm actually, this is a hot take, and Tom, I'm backing you hardcore. I think season 1 was amazing. I think
It
season
was
2
good. Yeah.
was okay. I don't
Yep.
like it when they made that bad guy flamboyant. Like I think he
I
could have been
know.
flamboyant. Like they went too
Yep.
far with him. He
Yep.
was like so subtly weird. And then they were like, no, we're going to go hard. Something happened and I dropped off somewhere in season 2 and I have no interest.
See, I did the same thing.
So I'm with you.
I thought the show just, and that's Bill Hader, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
He's terrible in it.
Well, it's just like, it's kind of like the Dexter. It can only last so long. And I feel like
Yeah,
it went
true.
longer than it probably needed to. I feel like it should have been, let's do 2 seasons kind of thing and just had an ending instead of
Yep.
like, how long can we get away with this feel? That was but
limited series instead of.
No, it's 6 seasons, something like that, or 4.
I think it was 4.
I think it might have been
yes,
4.
it was 4.
It was 4. Yeah, I don't know. People just loved it. Although I have yet to meet a person that liked the final episode. They thought the final episode was dreadful, but I've never seen it, so I don't know.
I've never even heard of this show.
Oh,
It's called Barry.
I haven't either.
Oh, you haven't either? Really?
No.
Doesn't surprise me. But I tried, and I agree with you, Brittany. The first season I thought was good, and went, "Hey, this is good."
Yeah.
Excellent. Second season started, I went, "Uh-oh," and then the third season. We just started the third season. I cannot watch anymore, but it's just not funny.
Yeah, I'm with you. The mobster guy was so funny when he
Terrible.
came in, and they just kind of like
terrible.
It was kind of like in The Office, how they eventually made everybody such a caricature of themselves.
Yeah. At the end, the Office did kind of overstay its welcome a
very
little.
zany.
Once Steve Carell left, it was like, who
Oh, it was painful after Steve left, honestly.
Yeah.
he made the show.
I watched them all. I still watch them
Me
all.
too. Yep.
Oh, the old ones, what are they?
Oh yeah, the 1 hour
special episodes, super episodes. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Tom introduced me to those, and now I watch them all the time. And some of those clips, I go, I'm kind of glad this didn't make it, but I still like seeing them.
Yeah, there you go.
And we'll be getting a sister show, so we'll see what that is.
Yeah, right. I hope that one turns out well.
So I'm glad that I didn't get executed for saying that. So that was good that somebody agreed with me. It's just not very good.
I got your back like a butt crack.
You did.
Back like butt crack.
Back like a butt crack. Okay.
Great.
All right. Kristyn, you get to escape. I don't.
Nope.
Let me just put it that
I'll
way.
be back tomorrow, though.
Sounds good. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
We'll take a break. Be right back. Wrap things up right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. Get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought, we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so we made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
Tom here, and I just read a success story from MN Fat Loss client Elizabeth, who just completed the program. Elizabeth writes, I'm a 54-year-old woman who has struggled with losing weight. I had almost constant heartburn, trouble sleeping, brain fog. I tried counting calories, eating bars and shakes, and several other programs in which I would lose 5 to 10 pounds after months of struggling. After 60 days of the MN Fat Loss program, I was down 25 pounds. MN Fat Loss had really empowered me to believe that I can control my eating and my weight without having to sacrifice foods that I like. If you're thinking about finally committing to improving your health, this is the time to start. You won't regret your investment in yourself. It's so easy to see if MN Fat Loss is a good fit for you. They offer a free phone consultation to learn about the program. They also have virtual options to help you if you live far away, which I think is a brilliant idea. To schedule that free phone consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. The only thing you have to lose is that unwanted weight. That's www.mnfatloss.com. I cannot wait to hear about your success story. And please let them know that Tom sent you. We are back. Ladies and gentlemen, wrap things up. So good. Now I owe Brittany because she had my back on something I thought nobody would have my back on. So that was good.
No problem.
No question.
I got you, bro.
Are there people who love the whole thing?
Yeah, actually, I know Barry fans, but they did really have big feelings about the ending. I don't know too many people who said I love that ending.
Yeah, I heard the ending was terrible.
I wanted to like Barry so much, and I did have fun with it at first, but there's just too much out there that the minute I don't want to watch, if I'm not excited to go back, I just let it go.
So I have a question for everybody. Because they go from, you don't really call them channels anymore. Sites, I guess.
Yeah.
You go,
Service.
Hulu got a lot of good content.
Yeah.
Netflix not as much as Hulu, but they've got good content too.
Yeah.
Prime has very little good content.
Yeah, it's kind of fallen off.
Justin has this amazing ability to find things on Prime, and it's a very niche thing. But like, all of a sudden, I'll be down there walking by the TV, and he's like, "Yeah, this movie's pretty good. You should sit down and watch it." I'm like, "Where'd you find it?" He's like, "Prime." But he digs. I think their service in general is like hard to find the things you want.
Maybe, yeah.
I think they don't have a great algorithm at nailing down their customer. Like Netflix is like, "You're gonna love this," and I love it.
Yeah, Hulu's really good at that too.
Oh, good.
But Hulu's gotten very political, which I'm not real happy about.
But it might be feeding off your algo, bro.
Yeah, because I say I have Hulu and I don't have the same.
But I have a question for you. Why would it literally, when I go to try to check on the news, it will put up 7 stories in a row from CNN. They plugged the piss out of CNN. Do they own it or something?
I have no idea. I don't even have Hulu, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll never get to watch murders in a building.
Hulu is part of like the ESPN.
It's owned by
Disney,
Disney.
Yeah.
It's owned by Disney.
Disney
yeah.
NBC.
So that's kind of interesting.
So it's 2/3 Disney and 1/3 NBC. Does NBC own CNN? They don't appear to.
I'll tell you right now, I'm in such a peacock state of mind. That's what I watch a lot of.
Well, I've been told I don't, and I've been told that they've gotten way far left.
Peacock?
NBC in general.
NBC. Oh, yeah. Well, I watch streaming stuff, so I just watch
That's
a
all I ever
lot of
watch,
Bravo. So
what do you watch on Bravo?
I don't want to tell you.
Real Housewives is insert city name here.
Thank you. Actually, that makes me feel heard, loved, and appreciated. I love all the Real Housewife is my version of the Marvel universe.
They're so bad.
Yeah,
All it is grown women going out and getting drinks and then crying and fighting
and men.
Well, and here's the thing. Nobody that watches these shows thinks this is such a good show.
Yeah.
Like this is so well done, and everyone is just so great. It's like people watch it because it's trash and they know it's trash.
We're fine with it being trash, and there's a community around that. Me and my sister will be like, "Oh my god, can you believe what Sonia said?" And we like laugh about it, and we like love outfits, hate it. It's fun. It's like football. It's like dramatic.
It is.
It's
so
reality
bad.
TV with fake divisiveness.
Mm-hmm. You know
It's
what I
just like
would
football.
watch? I would like Real Housewives of like Nunavut, or Real Housewives of random Zimbabwean tribe.
Well, they had a Real Housewives
That's
of
what I would
Cheshire,
watch.
and
Cheshire.
Mhm.
That's as close as we get.
Yep, it was wild. Their accents were insane.
I'm sure.
I like watched a 5-minute clip of a Housewives show as my girlfriend was watching it, and it was one girl crying her eyes out because another woman did not like boycott and be mean to her other friend that was over there because
It's just like football.
God.
They
It was-
cry over fake rivalries and they like pretend to hate each other. And at least my people know each other. Sometimes like your guys are just like, you're wearing the wrong color. Okay, I don't like you.
It's
that
such a
what they're
bad
like?
take.
is
I've not,
hurting
it
your-
doesn't even do no because there's at least in like sports there's a goal. Like,
You're-
what's the point? There's no point to
Oh, because they're real. Those are real goals.
Be the realest housewife. That's obviously.
Thank
But
you.
you're playing to win a game or like get to a Super Bowl or a championship. Like there's some sort of
I feel like you're
goal.
falling apart at this, bro.
No, they're like the Housewives shows are just makes me feel.
Your reality TV is very similar to my reality TV. Sorry.
All right, agree to disagree.
I'm gonna try to figure out what the hell you guys are even talking about.
I was making fun of he was making fun of my reality TV, and I was telling him football is a very similar reality TV. It's just marketed differently. But they're like fake fights. Like, I don't like you because you're wearing a green jersey. Well, I don't like you because you're wearing a purple jersey.
Yeah,
It's just, like you're just trying to get me going. It's,
Well, of
it's
course.
just a terrible. It's just a terrible. I don't even know
Look at him
how
all
to argue
flustered.
that. It's just so terrible.
He's sweating.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that I agree in one way, and that is that most teams they consist of people who aren't even from that area anymore.
Thank you.
Right.
So it's like, what makes it the Minnesota Vikings when 85% of the players weren't born in Minnesota? It's not really the Minnesota Vikings. It's just like a group of players calling themselves that.
Well, yeah, it's just a team based out of Minnesota. It's
Yeah.
not it's not like a regional where you have to grow up here to be on the team.
Right, but it's like when Minnesotans are like, "Oh, Minnesota pride! We're gonna have our quarterback from Illinois. He's the best. Our punter who's from Nebraska. He's also the best." How's that Minnesota pride?
Right.
Thank you.
Well, there is a sport I believe it's in Spain, where you have to, the only way to get on one of the teams is you have to be born and raised in that city. So parents will move to different parts of town.
All sports should be like that.
Yeah.
It would be more like if
we would suck.
I don't know. It's not like we've been doing so great with the opposite so far. So, I mean, and actually the last time the Vikings were good, they were probably almost all Minnesotan. So,
and we'd finally be good at hockey.
That too.
Yeah, we should be a lot better at hockey than we are. I'll tell you
if
that.
you had to play in the city you were born in or the state you were born in, we'd finally be the state of Minnesota or the
we'd be top 3 every year easily.
Yeah.
All right, we got to wrap it up. We'll be back with the Family Show in just a few minutes. Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Landon and Gavin Miller of D&B Plating.
I've always been impressed with their speed of answers to our questions, and that has allowed us to expand and capitalize on opportunities in the market.
North American Banking Company has never made us feel like a number. They've always treated us as a partner.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com or stop by any one of their Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years. But I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw & Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. You know, get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought, we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so we made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine 5.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
Tom here, and I just read a success story from MN Fat Loss client Elizabeth, who just completed the program. Elizabeth writes, I'm a 54-year-old woman who has struggled with losing weight. I had almost constant heartburn, trouble sleeping, brain fog. I tried counting calories, eating bars and shakes, and several other programs in which I would lose 5 to 10 pounds after months of struggling. After 60 days of the MN Fat Loss program, I was down 25 pounds. MN Fat Loss had really empowered me to believe that I can control my eating and my weight without having to sacrifice foods that I like. If you're thinking about finally committing to improving your health, this is the time to start. You won't regret your investment in yourself. It's so easy to see if MN Fat Loss is a good fit for you. They offer a free phone consultation to learn about the program. They also have virtual options to help you if you live far away, which I think is a brilliant idea. To schedule that free phone consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. The only thing you have to lose is that unwanted weight. That's www.mnfatloss.com. I cannot wait to hear about your success story. And please let them know that Tom sent you.
The Tom Barnard Show is proud to have partners like North American Banking Company, Bradshaw and Bryant, and attorney and advertiser Dave Bielke.
I've been advertising on Tom Barnard shows for years. I like Tom, not just because he's a good guy, but because the ads I run on his show bring me new clients that are hurt at work and need legal help. Tommy B works for me.
If you'd like to find out more about growing your business with the Tom Barnard Show, go to tombarnardshow.com, keyword partner.
Anybody?
Hello.
There we go.
Do I?
There you go.
Now you're talking. Welcome to the family with
Alex Brandt Bernard Rasmussen.
Co-host Catherine Brandt.
Tevin Piven.
And Andy Brandt Bernard.
See, how you doing?
Oh my gosh, we just got our family photo sent to us.
Aw,
we're so cute.
You decided.
I mean,
Do you
if
guys
you saw
all wear
these
matching outfits?
I mean, we try to do just a general, like this time it was like wear something blue and
Mhm.
something brown cream-ish, just so we look
Like-
semi.
Yeah,
like
rather-
I don't buy anything new.
No.
I let the kids kind of choose. I'm like, pick these colors, whatever. Like I want us to be comfortable and have a nice time,
But
It doesn't
not
need to
clash.
be,
Yep.
But not, yeah, like
Don't, yeah,
yeah,
I'm-
like Fawn would
you
wear
polka dots, I wear stripes.
Yeah, and Fawn would
You
wear like
plaid.
bright pink dance shorts and a tie-dye sweater.
She sure would.
She had the opportunity, so yeah,
Yeah.
we're so cute.
Well, that is adorable.
Okay, very festive.
Very fall-ish.
I have to order our Christmas cards.
Oh, are you doing Christmas cards?
I haven't done them for I think 3 years. So
Now, Shutterfly sends out a Christmas card. It looks like a Christmas card.
I got it. I got one.
before
Yep.
Halloween,
And it
and
was
I
like,
always
and
am
if
like,
you-
what kind of maniac is
know.
already sending out their Christmas
I
cards?
know,
and then
but
it's
it's a.
Well, they do it on
Shutterfly
purpose.
50% off. I'm like, you get me every year,
Yep.
Shutterfly.
I think if I order by this weekend, you get like a really good deal.
Mhm.
That's why I did these pictures early.
I just,
Well, I'm sure between probably what Christmas and Thanksgiving, so 90% of the year is probably their down season. So they got to be like,
well,
pretty much.
Shutterfly just left Minneapolis, or I mean Minnesota, right?
no surprise there.
Yeah,
I
that-
don't think they've closed down completely yet, but they're going to.
Oh, I thought they just stopped. They built that giant place out in, was it Eden Prairie? Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that
They-
a manufacturing facility or was it their offices?
I don't really know.
250 jobs in Shakopee. Yeah.
Shakopee. Okay, Shakopee.
Yeah, that's right on
Yeah.
169.
And the state of
Not
Minnesota
anymore.
gave them
Is it a?
millions of dollars in tax incentives, and they're gone.
They took them and ran.
Interesting.
So Andy, that Shutterfly that's on 169 there, that's closed now.
It is leaving Shakopee June.
In June, I thought that was still they were still there because the logo is still up on the building, and they usually take that down when they leave. So in June, they're all going to be gone.
Oh, they're
Yep.
they're probably making it through Christmas card season and then skedaddling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's about it. So basically, it's just a tax problem. Is that the problem they're having? They still want to pay the taxes.
I just don't think that people are worried about trees and mail and the climate. And I
Honestly,
think
cards
that,
are not a thing. They're not like they used to be, where everyone always has to send a Christmas card.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
got my very first, well, maybe it's my second or third wedding invitation that is not going to have a paper follow up.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
all
there's
just
really
digital.
no reason these days.
Well, like our Christmas cards that we've always done, I've always got them from a company that uses recycled paper, and they plant a tree for every like $40 you spend or something like that.
Yeah.
So I've always tried to be like very eco-conscious with it, but it is more expensive than just like doing the 35% off Shutterfly.
I know,
thing.
but getting an email Christmas card just is not fun.
Yeah. Or a
It's
lot
just
of people
another
do
thing.
them where they just take their Christmas photo and post it online and call it good.
Yeah, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm never on Facebook, hardly ever anymore. I'll post it on Instagram. I'll post it on Facebook too, but I'm like, I'm not really on there. And like when we do print them, I'm gonna get maybe like 30.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
like
Yeah.
limit.
I don't know.
who we send them
I
to.
used to just do it just because we had friends and family all over the country, but now
Mhm.
everyone's pretty much dead. That I would send them to.
Okay, then.
Other than that, though,
Yeah, seriously, all my parents' relatives are all dead,
Yeah.
and they're
that's
the ones
true.
that I would send. You know, that would really like to see.
a family card. Everybody else I actually talk to or see.
It's not untrue. It happens to everyone.
Yeah, that's just how it is. I don't have. Yeah.
And the younger generation just, I don't know. I don't feel like they're really into Christmas cards.
Yeah, they don't seem
so
to care.
much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I find very interesting is people so ecologically conscious and paying attention to this, that, and the other thing. And we should all drive electric cars, which I do. I have an electric car, and Catherine has a hybrid, so I'm not complaining about those. But you don't want to send Christmas cards because it takes too many trees to make the cards, all the rest of it. But you have noticed the second they found the cobalt mine in America, they are going to destroy miles and miles of forest to get into the ground to get the cobalt.
Yes.
So what's the argument here? How can you argue about, it's not ecologically smart? How is it okay when you need to get the cobalt, then you can just level the forest?
Well,
that's okay.
The whole save the trees from the paper industry thing is also very outdated.
It is.
Yeah, because forestry is a renewable resource.
Exactly.
Yeah.
America hasn't deforested in a long, long time.
Yeah.
So why do they still have that argument? Why are they still arguing about that?
Oh, there's a lot of people who, most people, they stop maturing at some point in their 20s or so, and they think all political issues that were important when they were in college remain important forever, and that's a big part of today's problems.
Do you think there's the problem is that 28-year-old level we're talking about here, because your brain doesn't fully form to full function until you're 28 years old?
About that.
And that's exactly what you're talking about. All of a sudden they become 29, 30, and they can think much more clearly. So is that what's really happening here? Is they look back and they go, oh my God, those ideas were horrible,
No,
but I
think
have to
it's-
defend them anyway.
Well, yeah, I think that's basic. Well, no, I mean, honestly, I think there's a lot of people who genuinely live in the past.
Really?
Like they honestly don't think any change has been made since they were in college, because that's when they basically, I don't know, that's when
Develop
they were
social awareness.
That's when they were indoctrinated, more or less.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Are we still deforesting the rainforest? Are they still burning? I mean, are other countries ruining?
Other countries are, yes, but
Yeah.
ours isn't.
But
But,
ours is
you
not.
never hear people complain about other countries. It's always America's doing it bad.
Yes, that's very, very true. Why do we do that to ourselves, you think?
Short-sightedness.
Yeah, I guess. But all of that Al Gore bullshit from what a bunch of lies that was. I mean, this guy made billions of dollars talking about that stuff.
That light bulb thing. Oh my God.
Oh, that light bulb thing pisses me off.
Remember all the light bulbs were replaced by those horrible ones where it's like if you
those,
broke them, you had to put a
CFLs.
hazmat suit on and
they were
not breathe
weirdly
and
blue.
throw away your vacuum afterwards because it was so filled with mercury. It's like this
CFLs
does
were
not
horrible.
seem better.
I hated CFLs. Everyone hated CFLs.
Doesn't seem better.
But
They're
I
all-
do like LEDs because they last forever. They
Mhm.
take almost no energy.
We have a flickering problem with the.
We do.
You do have a flickering
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
we have
all of your
so
lights
many
are-
cans,
and it's
yeah.
because of your dimmer switches.
Yeah,
Yep.
dimmer
That's what
switches.
makes
But
the
I
flickering
buy the LEDs that say that they're dimmable
but
and they
they
flicker
still-
all the
they do.
time.
They do. They won't stop, and it's really annoying.
We're gonna
I don't-
breathe.
And then, so Dad last night. Oh, okay. Well, I'll take down the thing and I'll go get incandescent
Oh,
bulbs
wait a
again.
minute. I got to say one thing before you say this. This is one of the great moments of my life. What she told me last night when I took the light out.
He did.
But wait till you hear what it did. It's just unbelievable.
So I'm like, okay, fine. So I read this thing online about why your LED lights flicker. It's because they're incompatible with your the receptacle.
Yep, pretty
Right?
much.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So usually on the inside of the can, there's a sticker saying something about what's going on with the light bulb situation, right?
Mhm.
So we take down the light bulb and it says there's a sticker that says you must remove the entire receptacle to find the sticker
Of course.
to find out what's going on with the light bulb. So I'm trying to do that and it's like the drywall for the ceiling is falling down.
Yeah,
It looks
of course
like I'm
it
going
is.
to ruin the entire ceiling
Yep.
just to find the sticker.
It's because it's a can that's above the drywall attached to the joist.
Why don't they just put the sticker
Yeah.
where you can see it?
Great
yes.
question.
Because you have-
Why?
I know. Well, that's like we
recessed lighting or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there I'm trying to take this thing apart. I've got my cell phone flashlight thing on so I can like look up there. The cell phone flies over the railing and
I had to
goes
go get it.
goes down the staircase and crashes. I'm like, so trying to replace a light bulb has maybe destroyed my $1,000 cell phone and has maybe ruined my ceiling. Okay, this sounds perfect.
Okay, you put a hole in the ceiling and cracked your cell phone screen, but you found the sticker.
I did not.
Oh, you did not?
No, because I kept it because there's two parts to the can.
Yes.
There's like a decorative thing and then there's an insert. And as I'm pulling down the thing, it like I said, I could see that the drywall up there was going to come down and get a bigger hole. I'm like, I can't do this.
Is that why you think they put a sticker to tell you where to find a sticker? Because they want you to destroy the receptacle?
I don't know. By the time you just burn your house down if you've got to replace a light bulb. That's my advice.
Just deal with the flickering. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But why would you put up a sticker telling you where to find the sticker?
I know.
That makes no sense at all.
Just take the original sticker you're looking for and put it in the place where that other sticker
Yeah, so when you're putting in can lights, look for this sticker and put it somewhere else.
Yeah. And write it
Put
in
it in a
indelible ink
folder.
on your wall.
Yeah.
That cannot be erased.
It makes no sense to do what they're talking
I
about.
know. It was just the most frustrating thing. I'm like, I cannot deal with this.
It
right
would have
now.
been much easier to just install a new dimmer.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
They are not difficult to install.
But you could have had the same problem though. Like we in the bathroom that Dan redid.
Yeah.
We have all new lights, all new everything.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, the light will still flicker.
Our house it was built in the 70s. We have all LEDs everywhere. None of them flicker.
Do you have dimmers?
Dimmers?
Do we have any dimmers? I
Yeah.
don't think we do.
It's the dimmers.
It's the dimmers.
It's dimmers,
I
yeah.
don't think LED lights
'Cause
really
two
are
of-
completely
Yeah, 'cause
compatible with
two
dimmer
of our
switches.
two of our lights in our bathroom are on dimmers.
If
And I think
anybody's got
those are the
some
only
delightful light bulb advice
recommendation.
and recommendations
switches.
that will actually work and not flicker, please let us know.
So can we hire somebody just to replace the dimmers?
Dimmer switches, yeah.
But you could
super
also
easy.
end up
Barnard.
with this, and you could also end up with the same problem. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, we have brand new dimmer switches in our
that's
bathroom,
true.
and they still flicker. So
But did you read the sticker?
I'm sure. Have you met my husband? Have you
Did
met
you
Dan
buy the
Rasmussen?
compatible LEDs?
Mom, again, have you met my husband?
Yeah, see, there we
Yeah.
go.
He's read all the stickers
Yeah.
and bought all the compatible
Yeah.
everything and
Yeah, he's the guy
researched
that
it
actually
for 3
reads
months.
the manual.
Yes.
Well, there are if it is absolutely traced to a dimmer switch, there are dimmer switches that work in a different way than the old style that will eliminate the flicker.
I don't. Here's the thing. You just move it a little bit and it stops. It's
That is
just
true.
not.
They
Not
were
in our
trying
house.
that. They were trying
Not
that,
in
and
our house,
last
it
night it
doesn't.
was not working. Normally that works.
I was going to say yours seem to have got really bad lately.
Mm-hmm.
When it's everywhere in the house now. It didn't used to be,
'Cause
but
you-
now it's everywhere in the house.
Yeah, you have dimmers everywhere.
Yeah,
yep.
every switch in
You have
your
so
house has a
many
dimmer,
dimmers
which
in
is
your
I don't know
house.
why.
Yeah.
So can we replace those with better dimmers?
Probably.
Yeah, you
We
can
could give it a
replace-
shot.
You can replace dimmers easily.
Yeah,
But I
because
mean,
the way
will it work?
the way old dimmers worked is that they would cut off the power many times
Oh,
a second.
Okay.
That's what you're seeing is every time the lights flicker, it's
Oh.
because the dimmer is cutting off the power, turning it back on. With incandescents, it's not a big deal because they're constantly glowing. But with LEDs, they shut on and off so fast that you can see it happening. So you need a special dimmer that doesn't do that.
We have like the weirdest lights that he put in our bathroom. They're really cool. So it's like a can light. And then if you like quickly turn off and on,
We
the
bought those
light
for our
again,
basement.
There's like a soft circle around it.
You got them at Home Depot?
Yeah, Dan gets everything at Home Depot.
Yep. Yeah. We bought the same ones. We have the basement we finished 90% of. Yeah, it's got those down there and they're
So
cool.
the light bulb just does that?
Well, there's
Yeah.
basically two
It's like
lights.
a-
There's the real light.
Yeah, it's like there's the bulb is here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you switch it, and then the light bulb is still there, but it just stops this part from shining, and then
Yep.
it
There's a
shines
circle
in
around
like
it, which is a lot
soft
lighter.
circle around.
So it's like a little night light.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. We had it for like movie mode.
Oh.
Ours is for because I don't like sound or noise, so and light. I don't like any of those things, and so he was like, "I know how you like to shower in the dark, like a weirdo."
Oh, you're not a weirdo. Showering in the dark is the best. It's just.
I'm like, I know he'll come in and like turn the light on to do something in the bathroom.
What do you see to shave your legs?
And then I've done it 8,000 times. It's by feel. It's not black in there. It's not like I can't see anything, and I'm just like, where's the soap? But like, pretty dark.
This might be difficult, Catherine. I just did the research. Replacing dimmer switches, replacing dimmable switches, replacing dimmer switch with regular, replacing dimmer switch UK, replacing dimmer switch no ground wire, replacing dimmer switch knob, replacing dimmer switch module.
I think we should just move. I just can't. It's too much.
So
it's just all
people
too
have
much.
Googled all these things.
It's just unbelievable.
It's all just too much. I can't do it.
I would say you just call an electrician.
Yes.
And they come and do it because that's how you end up electrocuting yourself.
You know, I would never do that.
So many of them.
So do we know a good electrician to go talk to?
Yes.
It's a very easy thing to do.
We've got friends in high places with helpful people.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that because we do have to do something about it. You go in that bathroom upstairs now. You can't stand to be in that bathroom up. Those lights go blank, 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 blank. It's like, Jesus.
That's how your bathroom was this
There's
weekend.
one particular light bulb, and I don't know. Does that mean it's going out when it's like super flickery?
That could be if it's at the end of its life hanging on.
Maybe.
Like it can't. It's not communicating.
But I put all these new LED lights in when we moved in because a lot of the light bulbs were burned out when we moved in, and you can't even find incandescent bulbs. Which I'm sorry. It's a much better light. The old light bulbs were much nicer.
Lowe's don't have them.
I think it's illegal for them to make them now. I think it is now contraband if you have.
It is now a felony.
You don't have an LED light. So I don't know.
Yeah, literally, it's gotten so bad. And because I get up a lot early, Catherine, so she and I during the week don't sleep together. The lights in my bedroom now are unbearable. They just, luckily, I have them off when I'm sleeping because when I'm just in there and I turn the lights on, they flicker constantly.
I don't know what that means.
And another one's weird is when I turn the light off, 3 of them go out and the 4th one just goes blink, 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 blink for about a minute and then it finally dims.
It's really weird.
It's like, what is that? Are we possessed? Is our house possessed?
I was just going to say your house is haunted.
It's probably a ghost.
Perhaps.
It could be haunted.
A ghost.
See, look at all we ever do is take a punch for everybody else so you'll know how to do something.
Absolutely. So I have to drive to Chicago in February.
Mhm.
And I was like, hey, maybe I'll drive my dad's car because it won't be
It's a good idea.
But
being used. But I'd have to charge it 5 times to get there.
Why 5 times?
It's only got a 300 range.
It has the Ford Mach-E. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
It's a 94 range on highways.
What? No, it's not.
No.
I just Googled it.
That's not right.
I just Googled it. Mustang Mach-E mileage up to 110 city, 96 highway.
That's miles per gallon.
No, the Mach-E is all electrical.
Yeah, but they do
that's equivalent miles per gallon. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
it's like
okay. So somebody tell me how far I can drive. No, I just Googled.
miles.
Andy,
Ford.com. What year is it? Is it 2023?
Yes.
250 miles.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd have to charge it once because it's 400 miles.
So you go to Target.
Which most hotels have a charger.
And Target. How long does it take to charge though?
Oh, a while.
Depends.
Catherine, do you know?
Yeah. Andy, how long does it charge?
I have no idea.
Like an hour.
Let's
like a full charge because I'd need a full
45 minutes. Like when I charge my Tesla, it's from like 0 to full charge is like 45 to.
Is that with like a regular?
It depends
like
on
you go
the
to
charge.
Like if you go to Target and those are all going to be the superchargers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's you just watch or you.
Okay, because I was like, if I had to charge it once, that wouldn't be a big deal because I'd have to go to Target to like get snacks and stuff for the trip anyway, and we could spend 45 minutes in Target easily. We could get a little snack, get a little something,
buy a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
You know how it works.
That's how, buy 17 things you didn't actually need,
which is why they have chargers there.
Yeah. So I'm like, I could easily do that. That would be fine.
Apparently, you can charge it to 100% in under an hour.
Yeah, there you go.
And depending on how
go to Target.
Tom has never had to charge his anywhere on the road. He
Nope.
only charges at home.
Yeah.
Do you have to have an app How
I
do
don't
you
know how
charge it
Ford-
on the road if you ever?
So I don't know how Fords work, but like so in Tesla, you have the app and you enter your card information. And so then you just pull up, you plug your car in, and then depending on how much you charge your car, you'll automatically get charged through your app.
That makes sense.
And
through
then,
your app.
Yep.
Through your Ford
So,
app.
like,
So I would assume you'd have to download the Ford app, and there should be
Something.
some sort of.
So that's how
wallet
you
payment.
pay for it.
Yep.
So it's
'Cause
not
like
free. You have to pay for it.
Yep. Yeah. And
Okay.
I guess there are some stations where you can go up and you'll pay with like a credit card, like you're paying for parking. But most of the time, you just plug it in. When you're done, you leave, and it all handles it.
And how much is, like, if I went to Target and had to charge the battery completely, how
like
much would it be?
$15-$20.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, here's the latest info. Ford says the premium is good for 310 miles of driving when paired with the extended range battery and rear-wheel drive, but we'd still choose the all-wheel drive version, which knocks its estimated range down to about 300 miles.
I think that's what you have, right? Is the all-wheel drive?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, because I'd want all-wheel drive.
And if you're driving in the
It's February.
cold,
Yeah, it's
it'll
gonna
go down.
go down.
significantly
Yeah, that's
as well.
true. Yeah. But yeah, just go to Target about halfway down there and charge it again.
Just take the train.
That's what I'll do.
Take
Do you know how long it
the
takes to take a train to
Yeah,
Chicago?
it'd be like
Can't
2
be that
days.
far.
It's like 2 days.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
To take the Amtrak to Chicago?
Yes.
Yes, they don't. They
There's no
stop.
Well, where's it
trains.
There's
stopping?
no, like, no.
Was it going like
There's
5
the-
miles an hour?
There's the bus.
Well, it's just constant stops.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I
constant
suppose,
stops.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 2-day train trip.
Really?
Yeah.
Amtrak.
Yeah.
Wow, we have bad trains here.
Well,
Yeah.
people
Yes,
don't
we do.
commute by train. People don't travel by train.
They do on the East Coast. They don't here.
Yeah,
And
on
would
the
you
East
trust
Coast,
a
yes.
train that goes to Chicago?
Yes.
Well, the megabus is horrific.
Mega bus.
That's the
without-
bus that drives
need
from
people
Minneapolis
riding
to
it?
Chicago.
Hmm.
It's horrible. When Dana lived there, she's like, I've seen some stuff on the megabus.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, it makes sense because, like, if I was a homeless person and I didn't have anywhere to go, okay, I can collect $20 and take a trip on a bus where it's
Yeah.
going to be warm and I can just sleep
Yeah.
for however long to get to wherever I'm going.
Yeah.
That's true.
It takes like 7 hours.
The megabus?
Mm.
Really?
The
Well, it's about
megabus.
7 hours just to drive to Chicago, isn't it?
So all of those people drive for 7 hours to pick up their welfare checks and then leave again.
Sure.
Probably.
They probably take the megabus.
I have to.
You know, they're still doing that by the thousands.
Probably.
They drive here, get their
Yeah,
check,
it's been
and
a-
leave.
Minnesota doesn't check on those addresses.
Yeah.
They don't check on them.
It's unbelievable.
Well, I'm also not going into Chicago.
Right now, you can go
Suburb an hour out of Chicago.
depart at 8:50, get there at 4:50.
On what?
There you go.
Amtrak.
Just
Oh,
fly.
really?
It's an
Oh,
hour
so it's
flight.
not 2 days.
It's 8 hours.
Yeah, but the flight, here's the thing. I thought about flying because I'm going to miss Sage's kindergarten play because of this dance
There you
thing.
go.
I'm
Yeah.
not happy because I was not supposed to have to go to this thing. Anyway, that's another podcast.
Total another podcast.
So I was like, oh, the dance convention doesn't start until Friday. So maybe we could stay Thursday, see the thing,
Fly.
leave early or fly late.
Yeah.
And then
That
go
sounds
to the
reasonable.
convention. But that's the thing. Flying there, it's like $200 to
Yeah.
fly coach per person, over $200, like $230 per person to fly coach. I'd have to rent a car because we're an hour outside of Chicago. We're
Uber.
not in the city. I'm not going to Uber for an hour. That would cost me like
That's okay.
$120 there, and then I'd be
Cheaper
there.
than a car, probably. You can rent a
Mm,
car.
You can rent a car for
Do the
it's
Toro
probably a horse apiece. You know?
Yeah,
The Toro or Turo. Or whatever it's
Oh
called.
yeah, that's. But I'm like,
What's
but then
Turo?
it's still another like you have to. By the time you get to the airport, have to check in, ride on the plane, get some sort of
Mhm.
transportation, drive an hour outside of Chicago.
Yeah,
it's
you
like
got
you're
pretty much the same
pretty
time.
much 6 hours in. So
Turo is you rent people's cars that they're not using.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Airbnb.
Yeah,
but
for
for
cars.
cars.
Yeah, I
And then-
almost did that one.
and then you're also out like $700
yeah,
more too.
yeah.
Because I'm gonna just have to pay for gas, and then I have to drive. It's like we're in a suburb, so not everything's like walkable.
Oh.
Although we're just gonna be at the convention center the entire time because
Yep.
she's just gonna be dancing like a little lunatic.
I don't know. Nothing's easy. Nothing is easy.
No, indeed.
Wild
Right.
time.
Have kids, they said. It'll be fun.
They said.
It is fun.
Well, the
It's
secret is to
just-
have kids that don't want to do anything, such as myself.
There you go.
That is, hey, Ethan's Not old enough yet.
No, he's not.
He could end up
Oh,
wanting to
Ethan
do
is
all the
definitely
things.
going to want to do stuff.
And here's the thing. Everyone knew that Dan and my children were going to be overly active. Like he and I never stopped moving. So it was inevitable.
Yep.
No one's surprised.
No.
It is what it is.
It's very true.
You know.
Oh, by the way, Alex, I thought about what you had talked to me about before the show. So there will be no family show next Wednesday.
There won't?
Okay.
No, because there's nobody. I couldn't do it by myself anyway.
By yourself?
Yeah, because if you, Mom, and Alex don't show up,
Right.
I'd be here by myself.
I think you should just take Wednesday off.
I agree.
Why wouldn't I
I
show
cannot
up?
take the morning show off.
Nobody listens on Thanksgiving weekend. Everybody's running around.
I-
and
Well, Wednesday's not Thanksgiving
Well,
weekend.
people might listen to it in their cars, I
Yeah.
would guess.
Commuter.
I was planning on showing up, but if we're not doing it, we're not doing it.
Well, there's not going to be anybody else here, Andy. It'll be you and me.
I'll be preparing my home to
So-
have you over for Thanksmas.
What? So
Oh, we're having it at your house?
Yeah.
No one told me.
Well, Melissa knew somehow.
Oh, good.
So I could get to your house by about 11:30. Will that work?
I'm just gonna.
Yeah, because
It is what it is.
We weren't probably going to eat till later anyway. We'll figure this all out off air.
Yeah.
That's
No,
Fast
but I just
eating
want
as
to
it
say,
is.
I just thought it. I was sitting here thinking about it. I was like, well, it's too bad I can't be there on time. And I thought, well, wait a minute. If everybody else is going to be gone, why am I going to be
Right.
here
Just you and
by
Tevin
myself?
hanging out.
Just me and
sit
Tom
there
talk
and-
about how excited you are to go hang out with your family.
Exactly.
Well, so
gonna be
are
so
you
nice.
are you doing a morning show?
Yes.
Okay, I'll have to communicate with AJ about that then.
I'll say, yeah, I can swing back there so you don't have to come in for a half an hour, an hour, whatever.
No, you don't have to come in next Wednesday.
Yeah,
Kevin-
I'll put
Kevin
together
can
a
do it.
thing that like a lost episode.
Oh, for the family?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
then
Might as
nobody
well.
has to, yeah.
Magnificent.
Good idea.
Okay,
Good
well,
idea.
I'm gonna go. I have a quiche to warm up, so I'll.
And a dance
I have a
convention to plan
quiche to
for.
warm up. Did you just say I have a quiche to warm up?
I
Oh
have to
my
eat it in the back of
God.
the classroom while Fawn runs back and steals half of it. That's what happens. That's how I eat my
No,
lunches
she
on
stole
these
half
days.
my sandwich the
I
other
still-
day. That
She
little...
every single time I eat,
She's a
she like leaves
hamburglar.
her seat and she like creeps back and like steals food and then goes back to her seat. And the teacher doesn't yell at her because she's just like, whatever, Fawn is
She
just
is a hamburglar.
I'm like, you're just a tiny little food thief.
She's a raccoon.
Tiny little food.
She
thief.
No, I had a sandwich the other day. She comes over, she grabs half of it,
She
and
goes-
she takes a bite. She goes, "This is good."
And then she just
Mm,
ate
good
the
to
rest
know.
of it.
And ate my sandwich.
I know. She's a tiny food thief. I know. I was eating a smoothie bowl at the desk and all of a sudden she was right there, like eating it. I was talking to a student and she was sitting there and she like looked at me and froze. And I was like, what are you doing? Go do your work. She was like, squirrel. She's
It's so amazing. As much as she eats, she's rail thin.
Yep.
yes.
That's not
Have
fair.
you felt her biceps?
She is strong. That girl is strong.
They're like
She is.
walnuts.
She
They're
is
like
strong.
hard as
Walnuts.
They're, well, 'cause
Itty
they're like the
bitty
size of a walnut. She's so strong. It's nuts.
She literally,
Like,
if I ate
I
as
don't-
much as she did, I'd weigh about 400 pounds. for
She
the
does-
birthday.
She did a handstand. She's on her hands, and then she jumps up off of her hands
Well,
into
doing
a
a-
back bend,
Yeah.
and then stands
Oh
up.
my
I'm like,
gosh.
Oh,
Well, I
it's
mean,
unbelievable.
I'm like,
Probably
oh,
not too
those little
difficult.
twig arms.
If you, I can pretty much guarantee you, Tevin, she does this thing where she holds her hands like this and she goes, try to push my elbows down. You would not be able to do it.
That's
No,
incredible.
you can't.
You
That's
can't do
right.
it. She's like a,
Huh.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
She's bones and muscle and skin.
Right.
And that is my blood.
You're
Like that's it.
mixing
That is-
protein powder into her milk or something.
I give her
Exactly.
protein powder when I make smoothies. I put like protein powder in, but not like she's just
She's
so
very
strong.
strong.
That's how I was though too. Like I always beat all the guys in the push-up thing for the presidential fitness thing because I
Yeah.
was small and strong.
Yeah, when you weigh
Yeah.
40
I was like, I have
pounds.
Oh,
less
yeah.
to lift. Like
Mhm.
this is easy. The bent arm hang. I'm like, I could be here all day.
Yeah, in
Yep.
middle school, I remember there was a girl. We did a pull-up competition
Yeah.
in gym class, and she
crushed you
smoked
all.
everything.
Exactly.
Like we get done doing 10, we're like, oh yeah, that's gonna win. And
Yeah.
she's like, you're done at 10. Here's
Yeah.
20, 21,
Oh,
22.
exactly.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll keep going, but I want to embarrass you guys. I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. She's
Yep.
got that whole
She's
thing
small
going.
but mighty.
She sure is.
She is in. Oh, by the way, good news, Alex. They're going to keep Target open. Target stock surges as earnings overshadow sales decline.
Were they?
I
gonna
didn't know
close
they
it?
were.
Oh, Target looked like you're going to be in a lot of
They
trouble.
closed
but
a
they're
bunch.
not.
They closed a bunch of.
They
yeah,
closed, they
everybody's-
closed a bunch of stores because of theft.
Yeah, theft, yes.
Yes, they
in
did.
like certain areas, which that makes sense.
And
But
they-
like all the suburban Targets are amazing.
Or
and
they'll
doing
start
great.
locking up random like Tide Pods and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because people are
shaving.
stealing
Yeah,
them.
shaver
People-
heads.
Yes, I
They're
know.
stealing Tide
Well,
Pods.
not, okay, maybe not Tide Pods, but they're just
Laundry
random
individual.
detergents,
Yeah, we're
shaving things,
Yeah.
toothpaste.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, shaver blade,
Shaver
razor blades.
blades, yeah.
It's
Oh, razor blades are
you're-
expensive. So.
They
They
are.
are.
They are. It's
They're
like
crazy.
$25
And they're
for it.
easy to smuggle. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you know.
Lock up the vanilla too. $35 for vanilla. I
What?
saw the other day.
No.
What? $35 for
A
flipping-
gallon of
Yeah, I was
vanilla?
gonna say,
Were you
no,
at Costco?
I mean,
like a big organic. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you get the nice
Yeah.
vanilla, yeah, it's definitely expensive.
Madagascar, you know, the good stuff.
Yep.
$35.
Yep.
God.
Or Target, they had like their toothpaste behind the enclosure, but it wasn't like enclosed on the ends, so you could just reach your arm
Oh my
around and grab the toothpaste. I remember because I was like looking around, I was like, I need to find somebody to get this, and then
Or do I?
reach
Just
around, and now I
slide
can
it
get my
right.
own toothpaste. Yes,
It's crazy.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have to go. You never answered my question.
Which one?
Never mind. I'll ask you later.
Okay.
I have to go to Target to buy a suitcase for Sage because we're giving him a suitcase for Christmas, and it's
A suitcase for a
pertained.
5-year-old?
Well, he
got
has
stuff.
like he needs a little carry-on thing. He's used
Oh,
Fawn's old
okay.
ladybug one for a long
Oh
time.
yeah, I remember
yeah.
that.
Oh,
But
yeah, that's like a backpack.
Yeah, but it's really little, and so I'm like, he deserves his own like actual suitcase because we're getting Fawn a big dance duffel thing that has like a telescoping hanging rack and stuff.
Oh,
So we're getting her
yeah,
that
yeah.
for Christmas, and so I'm like, he can have a suitcase. That's actually his, not a hand-me-down.
He used to have a Minnie Mouse one, and he had
Heck yeah, I
a
did.
Mutant Ninja Turtle ones. And you guys would be going through the airport with your little bags, and everybody's like, "Oh,
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I know. Sage should be with this ladybug one, and Fawn has a frozen one that the neighbor gave her, and yeah, everyone's like, "Oh my god, that's so cute!" And they're just like they've traveled so much that they just
Yeah.
I know." They're like,
No,
"Over
exactly
here,
what
it's
you-
over here."
Yeah. I know. And now that Fawn can read, I can see her being like,
Yeah.
"What's our gate, Mom?
Mm-hmm.
It's over here." Like, we need to go down this aisle. Okay, I do have to go because I need
All right,
to eat
eat your
something.
quiche.
I'm gonna go eat my quiche.
Could you
I'm
run
very
by
excited.
and buy us a bunch of undimmable light bulbs?
Yeah.
We need about 45, 50 of them.
Undimmable.
No, we need dimmable.
No, you need
yeah,
dimmable.
Just need the
You
right
good
kind of dimmables.
Yeah, but
I
the
guess.
dimmable is the one that's causing
Well,
the
these
problem.
LED lights are like $20 a piece.
They
They
are,
should work.
They are, but they last forever. So there's that.
Yeah, if they don't give you epileptic seizures, they're great.
they save you so much money on electricity.
Yeah.
It's all true.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, how many of these dimmer switches do you even actually use?
I actually, because they flicker, I use them all.
Oh, well, but I mean, like, you could switch out most of these dimmer switches with
Yeah,
just a
most of
regular
them we could.
switch and solve the problem.
Like,
Yeah, I guess.
I have one in my bedroom and I don't need a dimmer switch. I don't ever
Yeah.
use it.
Really, or
Dad's
it's like
downstairs with saxophone music.
I know.
Yes.
Or it's
there
like
you go.
bathrooms. Isn't your upstairs bathroom on a dimmer switch?
Oh,
Everything's
God,
on
Like,
a
isn't
dimmer
it?
why?
switch.
Why would you need to
There's
dim
actually,
a bathroom?
there's actually in one bathroom. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 different switches
Yeah.
to turn lights on.
Your
in
house
one
is
bathroom.
wired
not
very
a big.
interestingly.
It's not a big bathroom.
I feel like you guys live in
No.
a smart house type of. You need like one of those Sonos panels that you
Yeah,
put on
really.
the wall where you can just control everything.
It's like
from the app.
halfway toward a smart house.
Well, we had one of those in our old house, and I could never figure out anything on that. It was really a pain in the ass.
I suppose. Also, we got everything. I'm glad we got everything solved for next Wednesday because I don't want to be too late. Alex wants to kick it off at 11, but
Yeah,
I
we
can't be there
gotta-
until about 11:15, 11:20.
Mm,
Pretty
okay.
close.
Well, that changes a lot of stuff on Wednesday.
Why?
Talk about it after. the
20
podcast.
minutes would change it the whole
We'll
day.
talk about it after the podcast.
Oh, for Christ's
Don't we have a
sake.
guest? What's going on today?
We don't have guests in
No.
the show anymore. Why don't we have guests in the show?
because you
anymore?
said you didn't want
Because
guests.
we,
I
told them
did.
not. Yes, you did.
You
Because
100%.
we said no more guests on the family. That's why.
Yep.
All right, never mind. then.
Unless they're like related to family related stuff.
Yeah.
What do you want to start getting guests back on again?
No, I just wanted to change the subject
Or that.
Of what?
of Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well,
Next
I don't know.
Wednesday.
Like I said, I'm trying to do my best to fit in, and you guys piss
Do
all
your
over
best
that.
to fit in. Okay. I
What
thought
if
it was
I-
Tom's world and we all got to live in it.
That's about right. No, but if I did the show, I wouldn't get there till 12:30, which would be an hour and a half late.
We never really pinned down a time.
That's
so
not what
this
Alex
is-
told me. That's the big problem we have here is you, Andy, and Alex all have 3 different ideas of what really happens.
We do, huh?
Yes, you do. No question about
How
it.
about those Vikings?
I'm looking forward to it.
What about him?
Tevin and I were talking about it. I think this new guy is awfully good, Tevin.
Yeah, I think he's good enough to get us at least through
Is
the
this-
rest of this year.
Is this the baby that just had some college experience?
Nope. So he got a concussion.
Yes.
And so he's out. and so
God's
now we're
sake, I
back
can't
to
keep
our
up.
4th straight. It's a lot. We go through these more than Kim Kardashian goes through a husband. And so we're down to our 4th quarterback who's been here for 2 weeks.
Oh.
And he doesn't really know all the plays, but he's also a rocket scientist, so he's picking
Yes.
up a lot.
And he
faster.
is, by the way, really a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
What?
It's true.
Where
He
did
actually
we
is.
get him from?
Arizona.
Oh.
And he went to college at Tennessee, I believe, if I remember
Okay.
correctly. But yeah, he's an aerospace engineer that if he wasn't an NFL quarterback, he'd probably be working with NASA.
You know, people like that really are annoying.
Save some for the rest
Yeah.
of us. That's like there was a college athlete that was a rogue scholar. He ended up making it to the NFL. But yeah, it was like you got to be a rogue scholar, a
Yeah.
doctor, and a
Yeah.
NFL player. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Exactly. Enough's
do any
enough.
of those positions pay anywhere near as well as an NFL player?
No.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No,
No, I'm
they do
sure.
not.
Yeah, I'm sure they're thinking I'll just bank, 100 million
Exactly.
and then go be a brainiac somewhere.
Well, he had to probably play in the NFL to afford going to
That too.
medical school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, you and I owe big dough to Fawny. One of
Well,
the
Fawn
lead.
thinks big dough is $1. So
That's true. Yeah,
I'll
that's
go.
true.
Sure.
Cherish,
Okay.
cherish those years.
Yes, exactly. From the Wall Street Journal this morning,
Mhm.
my child had a child, but don't you dare call me grandma.
My child had a child, but don't you dare call me grandma. Okay.
They said it makes you sound too old. They will not allow anyone to call them grandma.
Who are these women?
It doesn't say.
What are
Just
you going
says-
to do? Stop
Or
me?
persons of interest?
yeah, but you're Nana, so you don't have to worry about it. And you can thank Fawn
Well,
for that.
Diane is grandma.
I know, but I'm
and
saying
I'm
you
Nana.
ducked it.
I mean, I still say I'm your grandma.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
mean, yeah, she just calls me Nana because it's less confusion because having the 2 grandmas and we're active in her life, both of
Mhm.
us. It's like which one? Which
We
one?
had,
you know?
yeah, we always both grandmas were grandma.
Yeah, they were back in
So
the
it
day.
didn't really bother me.
Yeah, but then it's the Grandma Barnard or Grandma Brandt. Or,
Yeah.
You know, it's just like
Oh, were you
just
around
easier
for
to
the
have a
argument
different
what my name is?
what your no, I
Not
was
not me personally.
No.
Fawn and Sage were having a fit because they didn't know which of the 4 last names they have they should use.
No, I did not hear
Well,
any
why
of
are we
this.
Rasmussen when mom's name is Bernard or Brandt or what Brandt Bernard? And then what about
Yeah.
all they went through? They could either be a Rasmussen, a Bernard, a Brandt. There are 4.
Not if you ask Dan. There's no discussion.
Oh, is that right?
No.
Yeah, Catherine and I went through a deal, and Andy, this is before you were born. That just before you were born, we talked about what your last name would be, and we literally it was either going to be Brandt Bernard or Bernard Brandt, and we flipped a coin to see which one it would be. So it just turned out to be Brandt Bernard, but who cares, Bernard Brandt or
Doesn't
Brandt
matter.
Bernard?
A lot of people care deeply.
Why?
Well, because it's kind of like that macho man thing.
Oh, is
It's
it?
my offspring.
You ever notice that macho men are never really macho men?
No.
They're not really tough guys. They all think they are, but they're not.
Yeah. And I think Brandt Bernard, maybe it's just because that's what you went with.
I think
it
it
sounds, it rolls
sounds-
off the tongue,
Yeah.
I think, better than Bernard Brandt.
It does, definitely. Yeah.
I guess. It all works out in the end. But yeah, they were going through all 4 names going, well, why is that our name? Why isn't this our name? Or this? Or
Well,
this?
yeah, because yes, I don't know. Sage said something, and I said I told him. No, he said I'm a Rasmussen. I'm not. Oh, because we were going to go over to my brother's house, and he said my Uncle Daryl Rasmussen. I said no, your
that's
Uncle
right.
Daryl Brandt. He said, but I'm not a Brandt. I'm a Rasmussen. I said you have Brandt in you. What? So that's how this all
Oh,
started.
okay.
He had no, he was like just totally blown away that there was another name
Yep.
in the family.
I
I'm like,
would-
yeah, you've got Barnard, you've got Brandt, you've got Rasmussen, you've got Dumholt.
Yep, all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah, going back a long time.
I don't even know most of my own lineage's names, to be honest.
Yeah, so that really threw him off. Yeah.
I would love to hear him like explaining it to his friends at school. Just like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, well it's Brant, Bernard, Rasmus, like, and trying to list them all off because I'm
Right.
sure it's a tongue twister for him to try and
Yeah.
work through with everybody.
So we should just go back to the old system of first name of place of birth. So I'd be Andy of St. Louis Park.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Andy of
that'd
St.
be
Louis Park.
Catherine of Cheyenne.
There you go. See how much easier that is?
Would I be Tom of Plymouth Avenue
No,
then?
but every one of my siblings would have had a different last name because we were all born in a different
Mhm.
state and
That's
city.
how it works.
God, I cannot remember. I was just trying to figure mine out because mine would have been Barnard or Loken or
Loken.
Dane.
Where does Loken come from?
My grandma Dane's real name was Loken,
Oh, I never heard of this.
but I can't remember what my grandma Edith's family name was.
Oh.
Schrader. Oh, I think it was Schrader.
Schrader.
I think, but I'm
Oh,
not
You're
sure.
related to Dave and Cassie?
Probably exactly.
Maybe you are.
I could be.
Hey, you might be one of Dave's other children.
But think about that. I'd either
I
sound
didn't
very
know.
English or very German. Well, actually,
it's-
Barnard's a Scottish name, I guess.
It's UK, you know.
Barnard,
Yeah.
Same
Barnard
area.
Castle. Yeah, but
That whole area.
God, Edith, what is it, Schrader? I can't remember what my grandma's because she was always Edith
You
Barnard.
better call one of your cousins up before that information's gone.
Are any of them
Yeah,
still
while they
alive?
still live.
I don't know if they are still alive. I'm not certain about that at all. At age 76, John Baginski takes long road trips on his motorcycle. He kayaks on the river near his Loveland, Ohio home, and he also bicycles hundreds of miles a year. I am an active guy in good health, said Baginski, a retired Procter & Gamble chemical engineer. So even with 3 grandchildren and a 4th on the way, Baginski makes one thing clear: do not call me grandpa.
Mm.
I thought being grandpa was like a title of honor, actually.
It depends. But I
I
mean, like
think
at
we-
76, it's like you are well into grandpa age.
Yeah,
Deal with it.
absolutely.
I'm sorry.
I just think we live in a youth culture. You know, people are just,
Yeah.
they don't want to be thought of as being old, or
Mhm.
people don't want to be, you know, and I mean, there's a lot of disrespect for older people
That is
now.
true. The whole elder thing is
Yeah. I
definitely
mean, I know
gone
a
by
lot
the
of women
wayside.
that are, you know, they're like, yeah, I almost feel like I have to do some sort of cosmetic procedure just to stay in the game in work. So
God.
people won't look at me like I'm some old, stupid person.
Mm.
This just reminded me of a story. I hadn't even thought of this in years, but I had a neighbor when I lived in North Minneapolis. He became a grandfather at 30.
Oh my God. See, I wouldn't want to be grandpa at 30, that's for sure.
His
Well, if
15-year-old
you're
had a
sowing,
baby.
you're going to reap the name.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you kind of chose this path for yourself.
Yeah.
So
No, I mean,
deal with it.
Yeah,
he
well,
had
you
a 15-year-old daughter who got pregnant. I mean, it wasn't his fault. that
Well, but
No,
he
I'm-
had a
I'm-
daughter at 15 as well. So it's, you know,
Yeah.
you can't be mad at her for doing the exact same thing you did.
Well, no, that wouldn't be how it is. He could have been. Well, I suppose it was. Well, he was because he was only 30. You're right.
Yep.
He could have even been younger or a couple of years older,
Yeah.
but he still was young when he had
Still
his first
too
child.
young. 15 is definitely too young.
Mhm.
He's a grandpa at 30 years old.
Well,
Yep.
a lot of families.
Well, that's how
that's
that's
just
how it
they
was
go.
for hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
It was indeed. So yeah, they don't want to be called. I see. I look at I don't like grandpa, grandfather, bop, whatever. That doesn't bother me in the least. I like that.
What always gets me is the women that don't like being called ma'am.
Yeah, why not? That's a title of honor.
Just because, it's more like a, what else, girl? Like,
Hey, girl.
right,
Say it, girl.
Right, it's more, I'm like, I don't know your name just out of respect. But yeah, I guess miss, but yeah, they always, it's miss. And like,
How about hey lady?
sorry.
Hey, lady.
Lady.
Hey, lady.
You got to do it the Jerry Lewis style.
Yeah, just do it that way.
Why? Yeah, they don't want to be called anything. All these titles, apparently, for men and women,
I
are
think we should just stop talking to people.
Yeah, really.
probably.
Just stop talking to people.
I think it might not don't
Yeah,
engage with
until-
anyone.
until this vast well of being offended is run dry. I think we should just stop talking to each other.
So I don't even know. So I would be he, him. Is that what I would be?
Yes.
It's if you just
See, I didn't know that. I had no idea what it'd even be.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you could technically be whatever you want.
Yeah, technically you can be whatever you want.
Like this.
Mhm.
Well, whatever. Why is that so important to people? I don't get it.
Lack of anything else to care about.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
because when
maybe.
transgender like rights and awareness kind of rose in the country, everybody was, focused on pronouns of, well, that's actually he identifies or she identifies as a man, so it's he instead of her or whatever. And so then in a show of support, if somebody like myself, who just whatever your average everyday guy would go on my Instagram and be like, I identify as he, him.
Yeah, but it's so performative.
Yeah.
It's like you are male, you present as male, you identify as male, and you feel the need to tell everyone your pronouns.
Right.
It's stupid.
Well, how old was Cliff when he became a woman?
I don't know.
I was
a long time
I
ago.
was in my early mid-teens, maybe 16.
Yeah, so it's 20 years ago.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, there you go.
So 20 years ago, he became a woman, and there was none of that talk yet. I suppose there weren't enough people that were transsexual, I guess.
Yeah.
No, back then it was definitely not as
It was
popular.
a different deal. But now we know what, 5 transgender people?
Yeah.
I think at least 5.
Mm-hmm.
So why does anyone care? I don't get it. We've known transsexual people for almost a quarter century.
Not enough people care to justify the amount of effort that's put into getting mad at people who do care.
Yeah.
But that's how it is for everything.
Yeah, there's like Instagram transgender stars that just basically go around getting misgendered and getting angry about
Yep,
it.
exactly.
Or TikTok stars. That's what they do. That's
Okay,
what they
so
do with their days.
Why do people want to be angry? I've never understood that. Why do you want to be pissed off every day about nothing?
Like I said, lack of anything better to care about.
I suppose it's got to be the answer.
You've got to pick your
Well,
dragon.
If that's your focus of your life, then if that's what
No,
that's
I
your
understand that.
struggle every day is being transgender, and I guess that's going to be your focus of your entire existence.
Yeah.
I think Don Quixote should be mandatory reading in all schools.
Gosh, there's a callback blast from the past, having to read that in Spanish class, Don Quixote with the windmills. Yeah.
But I mean, the lessons in Don Quixote are as relevant, if not more relevant than ever before.
An Animal Farm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, the entire novel is about a guy who's basically looking for problems because he wants to be a knight, but he is not a knight. So he goes around causing problems for everyone else.
There's a shot.
And that is exactly what is happening all over the world right
It is.
And
You're
Animal
absolutely right.
Farm, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
Yeah, then that was what, 1950s?
Yeah.
Animal Farm, I believe, was written in the 50s.
That was Orwell, wasn't it?
Yep.
Some animals are more equal than others.
So we're all equal, but I'm more equal than you.
So 70 years ago, they saw this coming.
Oh.
That's amazing.
I don't think humanity has changed since biblical times.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I really don't think.
The difference is now with the internet and social media, everything is such a small, it feels so much smaller, so you can amplify everything so much more.
I know. I was thinking about that the other day. I was just, all of this stuff that goes on with how violent everybody is against each other. I can't, all those videos about, what happened in Israel and that beat down in California, in Las Vegas, they killed that kid. It put me into like a little bit of a tailspin.
Absolutely.
I can't do it anymore because it's just, I mean, it's one thing if something happens in your community, but when you know everything that's going on around the whole world and you're seeing the evidence of how nasty and horrible people are to each other, it is depressing.
Was that kid
It
16,
really is.
17, 18? How old was he?
The Las Vegas kid was 17.
He was 17. And all he did was say, you can't take this from this littler boy.
Yeah, I think it was a vape pen or something to
It
do
was
with
a vape pen, I think.
something to do with nicotine.
And he wasn't
Nicotine patch. I don't know what it was.
He wasn't being an asshole about it or anything. He said, that's his. You can't really take that. And 18 kids beat him to death.
Yeah, and I think I saw today where 7 of them are getting charged with murder.
I would hope.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
They're definitely not.
I think
taking light
anytime
on it.
you're kicking people in the head, you should maybe be charged with
definitely.
at least
Manslaughter at the
something
very
big
least.
time.
Yes.
I mean, when you're willing to do that and you're a kid, there's something real wrong with you.
Well, it's okay to beat somebody to death over a vape pen. Where the hell have we gotten?
Well, there was I remember, what was it? Was it the 70s where people were shooting each other for their tennis shoes?
Oh yeah,
in the inner cities.
That was Michael Jordan, and that's like the biggest knock on him as an individual was you're making your shoes so expensive that and then you in the culture, like black culture, or well, I guess just hip hop culture in general as well, they are so popular, and he releases only a certain amount of them, so you have to get
artificial scarcity.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to get them,
Right.
otherwise you're going to miss out. And so then people are now walking around with $300 pairs of shoes, and they're like, "Well, I'll just kill you for your Jordans and walk away."
Yeah, that was what decade was that?
90s.
Yeah, it was like, I'll say like 80s, 90s.
80s,
yeah.
90s.
Well,
yeah.
90s was the height of gang violence as well,
Mhm.
which a lot of people don't know.
Until now.
No, 90s still beat
Yeah,
it.
90s was pretty damn bad.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
gang violence was extremely bad in the 90s.
Why was
I mean, it's still bad in places like Chicago and
yeah?
Well, that's the thing.
certain
Yeah.
areas in LA and New
Why
York, but
why was gang violence so heavy in the 1990s?
I think
Who
maybe I
knows?
think some other people moved in and maybe showed them the way. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you had kind of the perfect, because that was when Ice Cube and NWA were huge.
Yeah.
You kind of had a very
Yeah.
rebellious
Rap culture.
Yeah, you had a very rebellious
Yeah.
culture that was like, hey, we're not going to take any more of this abuse in the inner cities. And then it kind of, when everybody's aggressive, it's going to bleed into gang violence as well, and as well as
And the crack
anti-police.
epidemic was also around that time.
Crack epidemic.
Crack
yeah.
didn't help.
And then what was it? The Rodney
King.
beating
yeah,
was
yeah.
around that time as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, in LA. Yeah.
And
Yep.
he begged them not to do it, and they did it anyway. Rodney King came out and said, "Please stop doing this."
It
That's
doesn't
true.
matter once the
Yeah.
monster's unleashed.
Yep.
You just gotta
Well,
wait.
But he died during that period, didn't he?
No, I think he's still alive.
Is Rodney King still alive? Good. I'm glad to hear that he is. I hadn't heard he
Oh
was
no,
dead.
he died in 2012.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
Not
So,
during
yeah.
that period, but also
Shortly
not
after.
terribly recent.
Yeah. So Rodney King died. It's really unfortunate because Rodney King just seemed like such a nice man. This guy ends
Oh yeah.
up.
Anytime you're beaten up for nothing, it's very
Yeah.
unfortunate.
But I thought he did die. And I wonder, because he was not that old, was he, Andy, when he
He was
died?
in his early 40s.
Early 40s
Oh,
when
yeah,
he
so
died.
was young.
That'll happen when you get drunk, take a bump of cocaine and some PCP, and then go swimming.
Whoops, that's what he
That's what
did.
happened to him?
Yep.
Whoops.
Oh wow.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
No.
Many such cases.
I could only imagine what the rest of his life was like after
Exactly.
Mhm.
after that.
Be horrible. Be absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
All right, is that everything?
I think so. I think we're coming upon the holiday season.
We
Everybody
are.
ready for Christmas?
Yep. Yesterday I spent like pretty much 2 hours trying to find. My girlfriend wanted an all white Christmas tree. That's her big
Oh,
thing.
where'd you
Like a
find
snowy
it?
And it couldn't
Christmas
be
tree.
it couldn't be pre-lit because she wanted to put these special blue lights on there. And then every
Oh.
Home Depot, Menards, they have green trees that have the artificial snow kind of, so you can
Yes.
still see a little bit of the green. That's not good enough.
Not it.
Finally, after I went to a Walmart that happened to have one white Christmas tree, not pre-lit, it was in the wrong spot. I just happened to find it. Otherwise, I'd probably still be out there looking for a stupid
I
white.
wonder
Christmas
why
tree.
they don't make white Christmas trees anymore.
No. They do. They're all just pre-lit, and so I was looking for.
Oh,
very
they're all
Every
pre-lit.
Christmas tree is pre-lit
Yeah, I
these
suppose
days.
So I was
that's
just looking
true.
for a very specific.
I
one.
think she's the only person I've ever met that wants to put lights on a Christmas
I
tree.
know, really.
Because it's like the
No
most
thanks.
miserable job.
which is just me putting lights on the Christmas tree. So
Yeah, I know. Our previous Christmas tree we had to get rid of because I don't remember why. I think the lights were starting to fail,
Yeah.
and it was not pre-lit.
Oh.
So at the end of the season, we're taking down the Christmas tree, and I'm just like, all right, screw this. And I take a pair of aviation shears and I just start slicing the lights up. Because it's like, it would take me 3 hours just to untangle them to get them off of this tree.
I
It's
know.
like,
And
it isn't worth it.
And it's not enough just to like loop them around like a normal person. You have to wrap every single branch.
Yep.
And it's just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh my God, we've gotten too crazy with the Christmas trees.
All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow.